All right, good afternoon. Welcome to the afternoon experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston. Let me look in here and make sure everything is going good. Cause as y'all can see, I made some changes. So I hope everything is going all right with everybody. Let me look here. We are connected. We got the chat up. So I hope everything is going good with everybody. Robert Willis in the house, so I can do it in real time today. I can do it in real time. Robert Willis in the house. What's up, Robert? Uh, Come on in. We got Lewis Talbert representing Sharonville. Good afternoon, Lewis. Good afternoon. Come on in. Y'all know how we do. You say hi to me, I say hi to you. It's the best part of the show, and then the show goes downhill from there. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Uh, y'all know Anthony. Anthony in the house. Good afternoon, Anthony. Good to see you. Good to see you. Sierra. Sierra. Good afternoon. Sierra says first on Facebook. See, y'all can actually see the comments as they come in, so you can clearly see you wasn't first on Facebook. But I'm all right with you saying it. It don't hurt my feelings you saying it. I'm just glad that you're here. I'm glad that y'all here. Come on in. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody. It is Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. Hopefully you with somebody that you love or around somebody that you love. Hopefully you ain't somebody's side piece today. That's tomorrow. Jerica or Jerika, however you want to pronounce it. Hola. Good afternoon. Hope everything is going good. Vincent in the house representing Blue Ash. Good afternoon. David Herring representing Westchester. Good afternoon. Chelsea, that's my niece, y'all. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. And good afternoon. Can I turn the volume up a bit? Hold on a second. Audio. Hold on, give me a second. I hope that did it. I hope that did it. As y'all can see, I'm on a different platform. I'm not on my regular platform. Hopefully that did the volume thing for you. Hold on. Where am I at? David says he's casually walking into the top 10. Pamela Kinney, good afternoon, representing North Avondale. Good afternoon. Got Sierra Brooks in the house. Good afternoon, Sierra. Representing Boston. DJ in the house, representing Walnut Hills. Oh, this is Dina, by the way. Okay. Oh, an angel. Anthony Prosser. Oh, he's talking to Chelsea. Chelsea said something. I missed it. Kim Moore Eberhardt, representing Bond Hill. Good afternoon. We got the Betting Public Sports Show. That's Fame in the house, representing Gross Beezy. I'm still convinced nobody calls it that. Nobody calls it that. But you call it that, so I guess that's enough. Good afternoon. Thanks for checking us out. DeWanda Wise Hunter. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. We got Terry in the house. Terry Anderson representing Downtown. Good afternoon. Regina Denson Griffin representing Madisonville. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Oh, somebody sent me. Oh, I gotta check that. Okay. Regina Denson Griffin representing Madisonville. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Pat Rogers in the house out there in Westwood, East Westwood, to be more precise. Good afternoon to you. Diane Huddleston Angel. Golf Manor. Chelsea, I beam with pride every time you tell the world that we're related. All right. Now, I'm the proud one. Tanika out there in Orlando trying to start stuff because it's 75 degrees. I don't like you. Just so you know. Once it gets 70 degrees here, I'll like you again. Until then, I just don't like you. Scott Bain in the house representing East Walnut Hills. Erica Hummins, I almost skipped over you. Well, technically I did skip over you, but I had to come back. Was you normally top two, top three? Out there in Reading, good afternoon. Thank you for checking out the show. I appreciate you. Miss Pittsburgh. Miss Pittsburgh, she says Pittsburgh is in the building. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Let me see. That's it so far. That's all the hellos. Oh, Yo Underwood. Yo Underwood. He went from Jesus Christ to the Justice Center. He's representing the Justice Center. I'm going to assume like you work in there or something like that. Like you're not in the Justice Center sending messages, locked up. So I'm going to assume that you just checking us out from the Justice Center. Y'all, I'm still working on getting my phones together. I have an issue with the phones. I might try to take a call or two. We'll see what happens. But I am having an issue with the phones today. Don't call yet. At some point, we might try it out. We might try it out. Alexander Horn, representing Harvard. Good afternoon. Thank you for checking out the show. Give it a few more minutes, just a few more minutes. Just a few more minutes. Again, happy Valentine's Day to everyone. This is not gonna necessarily be a love show. A love show. Maybe later on in the show. Maybe later on in the show. This is just gonna be a show. L Rock. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Checking in from Draining the Swamp. All right. Good afternoon. L Rock out there draining the swamp. Fame. I'm not reading that. That's just mean for no reason. I ain't into mean. I'm not into mean. Everybody know that. Karen at Di Williams. Good afternoon. Representing the West End. Good afternoon. So like Lincoln Ware, and don't let people call back-to-back days. No, just more people need to call. If y'all want to, be heard, then you call in and I'll talk to you. I'm not going to stop the people who call from calling because y'all won't call. That's not right. They call in and express themselves. Y'all can do the same. Brent Beard, representing Dallas, Texas. Good afternoon. Steban Speed out there in Westwood. Seabree says the format of the show is hello, crash out, be the reason somebody smiles. I don't know if that's necessarily the format. Jabbar Rose. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Bonita out there in Roselawn. Good afternoon, Bonita Gaines. Thank you for checking out the show. Now, y'all know we got a guest today, Miss Raven Mundy. She got some stuff that she want to say, and y'all know I'm going to give her, why am I talking like that? Y'all know I'm going to give her an opportunity to say what she has to say, so at about 3:30, we'll get Raven Mundy in here, and the floor will be hers. So I'm just going to give her an opportunity to say whatever it is that she want to say. For those of you who don't know, Raven Mundy works at the Buzz. We've recognized that she wasn't there. They took her picture off the little stupid video screen behind them. I hate to call it a stupid video screen, but it is. It's stupid. I don't like the TV being behind them. I just don't like the way it looks. I think it's stupid, but that's just me. I'm sure somebody and you got a fist. You know what I'm saying? How are you to talk about somebody's background? And if that's how you feel, then that's how you feel. I don't like the TV. So that is what that is. But we noticed that she ain't on the TV no more. We noticed that she ain't there. People have been speculating, is she fired? Did she quit? Did Lincoln get her fired? Did Terrence and Chad team up on her and beat her down in the lobby, and so she felt so threatened that she had to quit? Nobody speculated that. I just like throwing a little bit of drama in there. But is she on vacation? She suspended? What? And I believe she gonna let us know what's going on today. I'm putting a little bit of my money on that Terrence and Chad jumping her in the lobby one day. I'm putting my money on that. But we'll see. We'll see. I just made it up, but it could happen. You never know. You never know. Um, no, Terrence and Chad are not those kind of guys. They're not those kind of guys. Um, let's see. Did we get a few more? Just a couple more people in here. I think I said Karen Dye Williams, Steban out in Westwood, Jabbar, T Mikey G, T Mikey G, checking in from getting no work done. Jericho says, "My king, can I make a request of no backsies? Like they call before Raven comes on, and then they call again when Raven comes on. I don't know if I can take calls. Okay, let's try it. Let's try it. Somebody call just for the sake of calling. Okay,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. What about now? Okay, hold on a second. All right. What about now? All right. Yes, now we are not messing with the phones no more. We not messing with the phones. I blame the phones. It's the phone's fault. 100%. So we not messing with the phones no more. All right. Oh boy. I don't know what's going on. It's something about Restream. It don't like me. Restream is my enemy. Oh boy. All right. So I hope everything is going good. I hope everything is going good. I hope everybody's having an amazing Valentine's Day. Hope you getting what you wanted to get. And I just want y'all to know, I know I'm not good with terminologies and stuff. One of the skincare person, I want to say it, but I feel like what I'm about to say is wrong. I feel like what I'm about to say is wrong. I know a esthetician, and she said she been booked up like 100% booked up for like 2 or 3 days straight. Them women wanting that Brazilian, like they want it to be nice and slick for Valentine's Day. Hey, I guess you can't beat that. You can't beat that. You know what I'm saying? If you into that thing, you can't beat that. So shout out to all of the ladies that's got the Brazilians and made it nice and slick for Valentine's Day. Shout out to y'all. I hope everybody's getting what they want for Valentine's Day. Whatever, even if you just want to be left alone. I hope that's the case. Cook Nesh says, guys get it too. I don't know. The real men get that. I'm not saying they don't, but I'm saying I'm not sure that they do. No, I don't know that real men is getting that. I don't know. Do women want that? Do women want men to do that? That seems unnatural. That just seems unnatural and painful. No. Cook says Charlemagne the guy said he did. I said real men. If you wear eyeliner and stuff, you might not be a real man. I'm not saying 100% you're not. But you might not be, And you got on eyeliner. What you talking about? So why you bring it up? Because you like it nice and slick? No, I do not. And that's all I'm saying about that. I do not. But either way it go, whatever you do, hopefully you're enjoying your Valentine's Day. Dominique say, what we talking about? We talking about love and Valentine's Day. That's it. That's all we talking about. Love and Valentine's Day. And we're going to talk in just a few minutes to your favorite millennial, Miss Raven Mundy, and kind of see what she want to share with us today. And that's just gonna be that. And I want y'all to know I'm gonna let her say whatever she want to say. I'm turning the show over to her. It's gonna be her show, and she gonna say whatever it is that she want to say, and I'm gonna just sit back and listen. And every once in a while, I might have a question, because y'all know I'm an inquisitive guy. I like to, what? Hold on, let me make sure I just heard what I like to ask questions just to make sure that we get a clear understanding. Will Raven be able to call with the cursed phone lines? Raven being on is not an issue. That's why I switched to this platform for the day, so that she could come on and, the afternoon experiment is going to turn into the Raven Monday show with Emanuel Livingston sitting back listening. That was not creative at all. But that's what it's going to turn into. I'm going to just sit back and listen to the sister. Just know, for anybody who didn't know, I got nothing but love for my sister Raven. And I know there's some Raven haters on here. Somebody already said something, but uh, I'm not here to tolerate no Raven hate. Kind of never have, never will. Well, except that one time with Jimmy the Vet, you know, when what he called her a lion tramp or something like that. Okay, and but it caught me off guard. I wasn't ready for it. But yeah, no, I'm gonna let her come in and say whatever she want to say, and just let us know what's going on. Let us know what's going on. Um, and yes, as it stands right now, I can't take calls, so that's gonna be that. All right. So while y'all ready? Let's see if we can get Raven in here now. See if she's ready to go. Uh, and hopefully everything works out fine. I did my due diligence ahead of time so that everything technically would be working good. And if it don't, it's Raven's fault. That is rule number 37. If it ain't working, it's Raven's fault. Let's see.
I
Raven
think things
Monday.
have changed zero. Nothing has changed. Everything is still my fault.
Everything. How you doing?
I'm doing very good. I'm doing very, very good. I'm feeling good. Happy Valentine's Day to you and the wifey and all of the AE experiencers and all that. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
And happy Valentine's Day to you too. And because I don't want to speak out of turn. Uh, I know you and my dude ain't together. That's been a not thing for a
For
minute.
like 2 years.
Yeah, but you got another dude, right?
No,
I thought you had another dude.
I was seeing somebody, but it just didn't pan out. And so,
Okay. Okay.
single Pringle.
Okay. You one of them chicks that you know, you just
One of them chicks, what?
get rid of them, like you know.
I mean, if you don't serve an important purpose, why are you around?
Like what? You didn't like his outfit one day. He came
No, no, no,
over
no. So actually,
and the
and
hat wasn't.
I can be transparent enough to say, but he was the one who chose to step away. He said that he just wasn't ready for a serious relationship, and so I said, okay, cool, peace out.
Okay. Hey, you respect that. You know
Yeah,
what you know what you want, and that you shouldn't settle for anything else.
absolutely. I am
Right.
somebody's wife in waiting. I don't got
Okay.
time to play games.
All right. Well, happy Valentine's Day to you, and hopefully everything is going good. But you wanted to come on the show, to, as you said, you want to speak your truth.
Mhm.
So, Raven Monday, the floor is yours. What do you want to tell the people?
Okay, so it has been about what has it been like a week and some in 6 days, something like that, somewhere around 2 weeks almost. Since yes, my departure from Radio One, I am no longer a Radio One employee. My peace out date was that Monday the 3rd, I believe it was. And I have severed all ties. A lot of people had questions about why I wasn't saying anything, why there was no announcement made. Some people was looking at, before I left, and I'm sure it's still there. I haven't tuned into Lincoln Show in like maybe a week or so. But before I left, there were some upgrades to the station, and one of the upgrades was this big monitor that sat behind us when we were hosting. It advertised everybody's show and what time it would be on the buzz. And some people noticed that my show and my information was no longer there immediately. As soon as people noticed it, was as soon as I was up out of there. They wasted no time erasing all traces of me. Um, which I respect it on a business standpoint, but on a personal standpoint, it did kind of made me feel a kind of a way. But it's cool. It is what it is. Business is business. As far as me not saying anything or waiting and taking my time to say something, it was purposeful. So and it's only because I've decided not to move forward with what they requested of me is why I'm able to sit here and have this conversation. So the way that Radio One works, when they get rid of you or cut ties with you or terminate you or whatever the case may be, they offer you a severance package, a severance agreement. It is a legally binding contract and it has terms and conditions that come with it if you accept the severance payment. And some of the terms within the terms of the severance agreement, it is stated that you cannot talk about the circumstances around your termination. You cannot talk about, they call it, you cannot falsify or defame or slander, former employees, management, yada yada yada, blah blah blah. It's basically an NDA agreement within the severance agreement. You basically can't talk about nothing if you accept. And, because I am a young person and this was my sole source of income, it was a decision that I had to make very carefully. Now I will say this: they weren't offering me very much money. It was chicken scratch in comparison to what I know they've paid out before. But it still was something that I would have been able to at least pay a couple bills with until I got my next job. But I would not, if I would have said something before I decided not to accept the payment or the agreement, I would not have been able to get that money. And so that's why I've kind of been, mum's the word, keeping it to myself, not saying very much of anything on a public platform, because if I were to have said anything, it would have meant that I would have forfeited that payment. I
But
am
let
lucky
me
enough. Yes,
hold on. Let,
yes,
let me let me just be like crystal clear about this. You didn't quit. They fired you.
yes.
Okay.
Technically I was laid off. So for all of the rumors that were swirling about, oh, she said such and such on air, or Linky didn't like her, so he got rid of her. It didn't have nothing to do with that. At least to my knowledge, it didn't have nothing to do with none of that. All of the rumors that have been swirling around have not been true. They have all been false. It is nobody's fault, but I guess if you want to call it somebody's fault, Radio One. So in the actual meeting of my termination, what I was told was that they were going through organizational changes. I don't even wait, did I just do that? I didn't even know I could do that. But anyways, that what I was told that it was organizational changes, and that for the phrase that was used was in order to remain in compliance. That's what it was said. And then it came out a few days later that the entire company, Radio One, was getting rid of about 5% of its workforce. Um, and this is not something that's unusual for a company to do. Companies have layoffs all the time. Radio One just so happened to be one of those ones in this round. So it was more so it was a like a we was trying to cut the budget, and you got cut with the budget. And so that's what that was. So it wasn't because I said something. People were saying that when that whole when the idea of boycotting Target and stuff hit the news, we kind of talked about it briefly, and I said something along the lines of maybe we should kind of, be more strategic with our boycotting if we're gonna do it. People were saying that because of that, that's why I got fired. That ain't have nothing to do with it. As a matter of fact, it was very explicitly stated to me in that meeting that it had nothing to do with my performance, that it had nothing to do with anything that I had said on air, that it had nothing to do with anybody like wanting me gone. It was simply we looked at the budget, we assessed your value, and unfortunately, we just could not afford to keep you. And so here's this severance payment if you gonna take it, and peace out. It didn't have nothing to do with me being bad at my job. I was actually given, some compliments on my way out the door, and I don't mean that in any kind of metaphorical way. It was quite literal. I was getting compliments as I was being walked out the door, because that is Radio One policy. They have to walk you out. But yeah, it just was one of those things where a company had some decisions to make, and I just I was up under that same thing. I also wasn't the only employee who was let go. Now, on that note, I'm not gonna say nothing about nobody else because that ain't none of my business to share. But I'm not the only person who walked up out of Radio One that day without a job. So I just want to make it clear: none of the rumors, none of the stop attacking Lincoln and saying Lincoln did this and Lincoln. No, he did not. Lincoln didn't have nothing to do with it. You can get off his back. It ain't have nothing to do with none of that. None of the
Hold on.
weird stuff that y'all
Are
are
you a
claiming is
hundred
true.
percent sure Lincoln didn't have something to do with it? Like they didn't have a meeting and say who should we let go, and then Lincoln was like, "I know somebody." You 100%.
I mean, I can't say that 100% because you don't know anything 100%. Like
No,
I
I'm
can't,
just
I can't
teasing.
say
I'm just
that.
teasing. I doubt that Lincoln had anything to do with it. Y'all know I give Lincoln a hard time,
Yeah, I mean,
but
I
I'm
doubt it. I doubt. He seemed to be just as surprised as me. Because the funny part about it is Lincoln saw me getting walked out, and then he was like, and then he called me maybe like the it was like maybe a couple hours later or something like that. Because if you didn't know, when you are also an employee of Radio One and you get terminated, immediately you get an email from HR that updates the entire market of your departure from the company. So I'm talking immediately once they close that door on your ass, there is a market wide, company wide email letting all of your former employees and managers and supervisors know that you're no longer with the company.
yes,
And
they
so
do.
I'm guessing what happened was he got that email and then he called me on the phone and was like, "Oh, I didn't know that was what was happening. I thought he thought that I was giving our general manager, he thought I was giving my key pass and my parking pass to him because something was wrong with it apparently. But no, I was just handing over my stuff because they asked you to give them back everything that they gave you on your departure from the company. But I mean, I don't know nothing 100%, but what I was told, which was, it was just around the layoffs. People were, their value to the company was being assessed, and I just didn't meet the mark, I guess. And so it just is what it is.
No, I was actually just kind of teasing about the whole Lincoln knowing thing. Even though he might have known, it wouldn't have been anything he could do about it either
Right.
way, had he
And
known
for the
or not.
record, Lincoln Ware has never been my boss. He has never been my employer. He might have had a little bit of leeway with maybe choosing who he wanted to produce for him on his show because it's his show. But other than that, Lincoln Ware ain't never had no hiring or firing power for me. So the fact that that was the assumption that people were making was kind of like funny to me. Like Lincoln is not my boss. He was my coworker at best. He was not my boss. So y'all can remove all of that vitriol that y'all had for Lincoln about the whole situation. He had nothing to do with it. At least that I can prove. He had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, we always call it getting future endeavored. That is what Radio One does. Everybody, that like you said, as soon as the deed is done, they
Yep.
send out an email.
Immediately.
So and so is no longer with the company. They was with the company from this time to this time. We wish them well in their future endeavors. And so there's a really good chance that that's the way that Lincoln found out.
Yeah. And that's the assumption that I'm gonna go with because whether people believe it or not, I've never had no beef with Lincoln. Like I never had any like I had arguments with Lincoln and I had like disagreements with Lincoln, but I never had no bad blood with Lincoln. And I can only speak on my end, but I never had no bad blood for Lincoln. I went out of my way a number of times to protect Lincoln from some of y'all and some of the crazy stuff that y'all used to accuse him of and try to do to him while he was out in public places. Like I have been I have been nothing but protective of that man and his legacy since I came across him. We have had some disagreements. We have had some differences of opinion about certain things. And I feel strongly about how I feel about things. He feels strongly about how he feel about things. Me and Lincoln are both Aries. We are prone to go like this because we when we agree about stuff or disagree about stuff. So it's never no bad blood with him. If I'm probably gonna see him out because believe it or not, my value does not get assessed by Radio One alone. I am valuable to the people who love and care about me and to the people who value my voice. It was never about Radio One. My voice has always been bigger than Radio One, and I'm actually seeing that in real time as I've had time to maneuver without that big of an entity behind me. I am scheduled for different events that's coming this year. I am setting up my own platform. I am doing a lot of different things where my voice will not be silenced. You will hear more from me. I'm working. Like I'm working. And
Well,
I
that
am
that was my next question.
yeah.
Okay, you're not with Radio One, and I do have a question or two about your experience there. But you're
Mhm.
not with Radio One anymore. What's next for Raven Monday?
Right now, I am focused on setting up my own platform. I've already kind of worked out a few different things. Right now, the only thing that I'm working out is the look of it. But I do plan to expand on what my show was. I might have said this a little bit before I left Radio One, but my plans for my show that were that were going to happen this year were so, I was about to go full tilt in that studio. I was about to really create a show that was going to be for us, by us, and fully supportive of us and our issues, of our movements, of our resources and our information. And if I'm can just be transparent, I do think that that might have been, you know, if we gonna talk about the what I might believe might have been the key factors in me being terminated, I do think that some powers that be probably saw the potential of what my show was going to become and decided that they had to nip that in the bud. And I just got to be real about that. I do believe that there were certain things that I was about to bring to the table that the powers that be did not want brought to the table because, and only because, they could not figure out a way to monetize it. When you work for a company that big, you've done it for the 5 years that I did it. I have been at Radio One since 2019. Emmanuel was actually in my interview, in my initial interview for coming into the station. And I don't know if Emmanuel remembers this, and I've said this a couple of times, even on my show. My whole intent walking in that building was to change some stuff up. My whole intent was to create a platform that was useful, that was impactful, and that was going to be something that people could walk away from enriched, empowered, and emboldened to take part in making change in the community. I said that by the strength of God, if y'all let me in here, I'm gonna change some stuff up. I'm gonna shake the table, and some things are gonna be looking a little different. If you give me enough room to spread out, I'm gonna some stuff gonna get moved around. And so I had been actively working on that the last couple of years, but this year was really going to be the year that you were going to see that. And I do think that that was, possibly part of the reason why it was easy to let me go, because what I learned working in the radio industry for the last couple of years is if it cannot be monetized, it will not be valued. And unfortunately for, a big, Fortune 500 company, a big, media conglomerate or whatever, it is mostly about the money. It is mostly about what we can use to advertise. Um and it's a shame, because what it does is it severely limits the the impact and the importance of a platform like the Buzz. Y'all have heard me say this a million times. The Buzz has been a staple in the community because it has always been a place where we can come and share our voices and be heard. It has always been a place where we can come and share resources, share information, and empower one another to make change in the community. At least since I've been there, and from everybody who's been listening to the Buzz since before I was listening to the Buzz, that's what I've always heard. That's the reputation that it has. It is key for our community to have a space where we can come and talk, and not only talk, but then have people from local government come in and have conversations with us. People who are out on the front lines of some of these community issues come and have conversations with us. All of that. I wanted to do all of that and take it up a notch. I wanted to have real, raw, honest conversations in that studio with my platform. And I quickly learned that if you cannot monetize that kind of stuff, they're not gonna let you do it. I quickly learned that if what you talking about and what you got planned don't fit in this very small, limited budget that we're willing to give such a small market like Cincinnati, we're not gonna let you do it. And so, if nothing else, I am actually grateful to Radio One for letting me go. Because what that allows me to do now is create my own platform. Because you can get rid of me, but you can't get rid of my network. You can get rid of me, but you can't get rid of the people who have heard me over the last couple of years and know what I stand for, know what I'm about, know what I care about, and then want to reach out to me and partner with me to make some of the stuff happen that I want to make happen in the community. And so while I have walked away from there, I've walked away with connections. I have walked away with a network of community activists, leaders, politicians. I have my phone is full of people who make things move, who are the front on the front lines of some of these issues that we discuss all the time. This whole thing that's happening with Lincoln Heights right now and Evendale. I have been on the forefront of that issue. I have been in meetings with people like Iris Rowley and Sister V and Ozzy Davis and Sandra Jones Mitchell. I'm in rooms with them currently, asking them, as sitting at the feet of my elders, requesting information, requesting assignments so that I can be useful and not just be a talking head. I've never just wanted to be a talking head. I've always wanted to be active in my community. I've always kind of looked at advocacy and decided that's where I want to be. That's what I want to do. I don't want to just be talking. I want my talk to turn to action, and I want to be leading the charge when it comes to action, to putting that action forth. And so, what I've been able to do since getting rid of Radio One, first of all, it's freed up my time. I got all the time in the world now to put my focus on the things that I actually care about, which is and you, which is about addressing some of the things that we see down at city council, addressing some of the things that we see on the Senate level and the Congress level. I am I'm excited. Like I've not been sad a single time. I've not been disappointed a single time. I'm maybe the only bit of disappointment I felt is to really finally solidify what my value was to that company, which was next to nothing. But now that I know that the things that I thought before I left up out of there, it just confirmed everything that I knew, which is I was never going to get any real work done in there. You're never going to get any real work done anywhere that they're going to try to monetize your movements. And so, if for no other reason, I am grateful to Radio One for freeing me. You liberated me, and to be able to be the kind of voice who can be honest, who can ask the questions without skirting around the topics. We had a whole policy when I was there about how we talk to politicians and the kind of questions that we ask them and how much time they get to have when they're on our platforms. I don't have to adhere to none of them rules no more. So if somebody actually gives a damn about speaking to our community, if they come on my platform, you know for a fact they care, or at least they care to even have the conversation. Because the kind of questions that I'm going to ask are not going to be no softball questions. They're going to be the questions that the community wants to actually ask them and get answers for. I couldn't do that at Radio One. I couldn't, you know what I mean? Like I couldn't be the kind of honest, real voice that is needed at a time like this in 2025 when we are dealing with the likes of a Elon Musk and a Donald Trump and all of their cronies who are all through Senate and all through Congress and all through our local politics and local government. I now am empowered. I now have the ability to truly hold people accountable in a way that means that my community will finally get some answers if they want to actually talk to us. Because they'll go over there where they know that they won't have to be asked those hard questions. They'll go over there where they know they won't have to actually, be held accountable for their actions. Let's see how willing they are to talk to the community when they have to talk to a voice that's not limited by a dollar sign. That's not limited by the fear of equal time. Like the phrase equal time was almost like saying a curse in them studios because they were just so scared to trigger equal time. Why is that a scary thing? If this is a platform for communication, if we're asking for both sides to come and discuss the issues, why are we so scared to allow them to do that? I can't. I, I'm not gonna make no more assumptions than what I believe in my heart to be true. But what I will say is, if you come on my platform and you want to discuss the issues, be prepared to actually discuss the issues and not just dance around them. Cause we ain't got time for that. Not in 2025. So
Well,
that's if you have questions, if you want to know other things, please let me know. I'm more than happy to answer any of the questions that people have.
well, let me say this before I go because I got a question or two. But before I go, let me say this. I remember being in the interview. I remember interviewing you. And I remember the things that you said. And you did speak about all of those things you said. She's not just saying that, she said it in her interview. I was in the interview. Um, and she did say all of that stuff. And all of that stuff is the reason why I decided to hire you. And you coming in, I always felt like at the buzz there was a void of sorts. And to have a younger voice and a younger woman voice, I thought would be productive. While you were there, and I even while I was there, but after I left, because I think I know the answer while I was there. Did you feel held back? Did you feel like you were able to, really have your true voice out there? Or was it a lot of don't say this, don't say that, don't have that person on, don't talk to this person this way, or don't ask those questions, don't be real? Was that the way that you felt while you were there, or do you feel like you were just free to, be Raven, be open, and have open, honest dialogues?
Um, I'll say that there were moments, and I can share this. In particular, it wasn't a lot, but there were moments where when I was scheduling guests to be on my show for my Name to Know segment, um, which was a brainchild that I had because I felt like sitting in that studio that we weren't. There were so many names that I kept hearing personally that I didn't know enough about. So there were important conversations being had and names being in those conversations that I don't know who this person is. So let me invite them into the studio so that I can learn more about them. But more importantly, everybody else can learn about them. Like some of my peers did listen to Lincoln Ware show and my show. And we would be having conversations and names would be said, and then my peers would be texting me like, "Hey, who is such and such? I heard this name and I don't know who that is." And so I created Names to Know because I wanted my peers and myself to be more understood, more knowledgeable about the high level conversations that I felt like were happening on the buzz. I will say that when I had Miss Iris Rowley, she was one of my first guests on my show when I started the Names to Know segment. When I had Miss Iris scheduled to come on my show, somebody found out that she was scheduled to be on my show. And Emmanuel, I love you, but your brother be pissing me off. He sent an email to Dan, the general manager, kind of basically trying to bully me into not having Iris on my show. Because if you recall, at that time, it was the whole railroad issue happening. And Miss Iris had a very strong stance about the railroad issue. Um, and Nate felt as though if I was to have her on my show, that would be the only thing we would be talking about. That she would get on air and she would try to sell her side of it, and she would try to persuade people in their vote. And that was not at all the reason why I had her coming on my show. And so it rubbed me extremely the wrong way, especially because Dan pulled me into his office and basically like gave me the third degree about what I was doing on my show and why Iris Rowley was important enough to come and be on my show and all these different things. And it rubbed me the wrong way. That was the first time I realized I'm gonna have to start just doing stuff and not asking for permission. And that's something that you learn very quickly. You learn that very quickly. And that's why I have to answer your question like this. I don't feel as though I was held back from being real or having honest conversations because I was doing stuff without asking permission. Because what was happening was it would only be when somebody from the outside would go and call and send him an email and have him, hey, Raven is doing such and such over there. You might want to go and look. That was the only time that he gave a damn about what I was doing on my show. Otherwise, I was just doing stuff. I was just making resources available. I was letting people come on my show and speak about the different issues and topics and stuff that was going on in the city because I knew how important it was for me to have the privilege of flying under the radar. I want to say this, and I hope it's some young people listening when I say this. There's a concept called good trouble. We learned about this with John Lewis. He was the one who coined that phrase. Sometimes you have to assess your position and play your cards correctly. You got to play chess when it comes to some of the stuff that we are able to do. You can't always play checkers. Sometimes you got to play chess. And so in playing chess, I realized I'm flying under the radar with a lot of the stuff because they're not paying attention to me. As somebody said, and I'm not going to say no names, but as somebody said, I only got a little 2 hours on a Saturday. Nobody's paying attention to me in my little 2 hours on a Saturday. So what I can do with my little 2 hours on a Saturday is I can have people come to the studio and talk about the issues. I can have people coming into the studio and talking about the real stuff and really getting out the things that not only I find important to talk about, but things that I think the community can benefit from. And so what I was doing was I was doing stuff like having people in talk about the school board issue and the redistricting. I had, and I hate because I told her last time I talked to her, which was at the last political last month. I told her that I would have her come back on my show and talk about that. I'll have her come on my podcast and do it this time. But it was just certain things that I was doing that y'all might perceive as the most innocent thing in the world. But if I was to go back there in that back office and try to have that conversation about why I should be able to do it, you would have never seen it.
And I
And
know
so,
that was one of the issues that I kind of had when I was there
yeah,
is not on that level, but you don't really get a lot of support from management when there is some pushback against something you said, something you did.
yeah,
It's like I always look at 700. I don't
yeah,
know what happens behind the scenes over there at 700, but I get the feeling they say whatever they want to say.
yeah,
And when you call in and complain, I'm going to tell you, I've called in and complained, and they don't apologize.
yeah.
They don't sound like they about to investigate nothing. Basically, they telling you like, look, if you don't like it, don't listen. But you know, they have a right to say what they want to say, and I never felt like almost at any level of Radio One. Now, I'll admit I had that at some level when I was there and Jerry Tolliver was there. Jerry Tolliver protected me like you wouldn't believe. But you go above that, I never felt like there was like just as a company that Radio One. I'm debating, do I want to use this terminology? Radio One never had the balls to stand up and say, hey, if you don't like it, don't listen. But we're not going to tell these people to water down their message so that you will be happy.
I would disagree. Like I said, there were you just learn to do it first and ask permission later. And then you do it first, you ask permission later, and then you deal with the consequences. But I want people to understand that with radio, but in particular, talk radio, and in particular, black talk radio, it is not the same as what's happening down the Dow. This is advocacy. This is a tool that we utilize to share information, to share resources, and to have the kind of conversations that lead to action. Y'all hear Al Sharpton say it all the time. During his show when he comes in, his little intro. What is it? Having you know empower having conversations that empower and lead to action, or whatever the phrase that he uses is. We cannot afford to just treat it like it's entertainment. It's entertaining, but it's not just that. It is this is a it's a passion project. It's something that if you are gonna do it, there has to be a purpose to it. It has to be more than just you know big up in yourself and rubbing elbows with the city's elite or the city's who's who. It's more than that. If you don't have a purpose for what you're doing, you don't deserve that seat, because we got stuff, we got issues, we have things to address. Life is not easy enough for black people in the city of Cincinnati to just be entertaining ourselves for a couple hours a day. We got real conversations that need to be had that don't ever truly get a true public platform to be had. From my understanding, that show reaches across several different cities. There are thousands, hundreds of thousands of listeners who tune in to that station every day to hear us talk about the things that are happening right here in Cincinnati, as well as on a national level, but especially right here in Cincinnati. The history of the city alone, and the things that we're seeing right now, again, with Lincoln Heights and the surrounding communities. This has made national news. I don't know if anybody else knew that, but what happened in Lincoln Heights last Friday has made national news. I'm having conversations on Instagram with people from California, from Philadelphia, from Detroit, all over the nation, who, because of being able to see that on CNN and the different blog sites all over the internet, they are now learning about the history of Lincoln Heights. They are being inspired. They are organizing and mobilizing in other cities because they respect what happens here in Cincinnati with our community, in the way that we decide to address our issues. So when you have that kind of a platform, you have to use it for something. It cannot just be to entertain. And I think that that's the issue that a lot of people had with me in that seat, that they felt that I was only supposed to be there to be, an entertainer, to be a court jester, to feed fluff stories and funny stuff and entertaining stuff and have trivial nonsensical conversations, and we can have pop culture conversations here and there, but we got business to address. And so I think that, like I said, when you can't find a way to monetize that, when you can't find a way to pull in advertisers who give a damn about what you're talking about, it just becomes yet another reason. Yeah, I mean, she don't really do nothing for us anyway, so we can get her up out of here. I'm sure that might have had something to do with it, but again, this is all alleged. So let me put that out there. This is all alleged. I can't say 100% that that's the reason why I'm no longer there. I can only speak to my experiences. And what I've
And
experienced is that if you are there and you have an actual message and an actual voice, they'll let you be there for a little bit, but once it gets away from being profitable, you're not gonna be there long.
and just because some people might have just tuned in, of course, I'm on the air. Raven Monday. She wanted to say what she wanted to say, and just to recap, Raven didn't quit. Raven was let go, more than likely because Radio One is just doing across the board,
Yes.
a 5%
Yeah.
employee
That's the number I
reduction.
heard. Like a 5% layoff, like a round of layoffs, and it was like either 5% of every market or 5% of the entire company. I can't remember which is which.
And she said Lincoln didn't get her fired
No, he did
or
not.
anything like that. It was, kind of nothing nefarious. They didn't treat her bad on the way out.
No.
They offered her a severance package, which she turned down. Uh,
Which is why I'm able to even have a conversation, because within the severance there were terms that stated that I could not talk about my termination if I accepted, and I chose not to.
so what did they expect you to do? Just pretend that you still work there?
I have no
But
idea.
so
I
she
I really,
turned
I
down.
really, I
Go
really
ahead.
can't tell you. They wanted me not to be able to. In the terms, it's and it's all legal jargon, so I'm paraphrasing. But in the terms, it stated that they did not want me to have to be able to talk about, the grounds for my termination outside of maybe with like my spouse or a future employer, or like some like close family. I wouldn't really be able to talk about the details about it. I think it was also stated that if I signed the agreement, that I would never be able to sue or join any kind of a class action lawsuit against the company, or kind of like protecting themselves legally, which I can like I said, I can respect as a business, but I'm not you're not gonna give me less than $2,000 as a form of hush money and think that I'm gonna take that and be cool with that. Like if we talking hush money, $2,000 ain't nothing. Like we talking some real hush money. That ain't nothing. To be hushed, like, you know what I mean? Like, and by the way, I gotta send a huge thank you to Iris Rowley and Tracy Artist and Ozzy Davis and Mr. Jesse Rowley and a few other people, because it is because of them. They were the ones who really put the nail in the coffin for me for not accepting that agreement, because I told Miss Iris about the severance and all of that stuff, and she pulled up on me 2 days later with $2,000 in cash so that I would not have to take that severance. Big thank you. Big shout out to Iris Rowley. Y'all will never make me hate Iris Rowley. I don't care how you feel about her. I don't care what you say about her, what you think about her. You will never make me hate Iris Rowley. Cause when I call on that woman, when I have questions, when I need her advice about something, she don't hesitate to pick up the phone. She don't hesitate to move mountains to make sure that I'm cool, that I'm informed, and that I'm okay. Big shout out to her.
And can I say I'm happy that you were able to build that network. And I know a lot of people think I try to influence you and all that kind of stuff. Uh, but I always I don't have that. You know what I'm saying? In me to be that guy that's gonna do that. And I was glad that you were able to make connections and build a network. And so when you do step out, which is my next question, is when can we look for Raven Monday show? But when you do step out, it's nice to know that you've built relationships and you have connections and you can have those people, because I'm a believer, and this is just me, and I'm even not even asking you to comment on it. I think when Lincoln Ware is gone, that's basically it for Black Talk in Cincinnati. I
For
think it's
sure.
over on the
For
radio.
sure.
I think it's
For
over,
sure.
and I think it's really gonna rely heavily on these other platforms, us citizen journalists, if you want to call us that, us, podcasters, YouTube streamers, whatever, to really kind of continue to promote conversations and give people information on what's going on in the city. And I do think it's important to be able to do what Lincoln does, have people in who are involved in these things, mayors and council members and school board members and superintendents and all of that kind of stuff. And being able to do that, I think, will elevate you to another level. So, when are you going to be elevated to that next level? When can we look for the Raven Monday show?
So, I am working on a few things, and I just want to put it out there because I know it's somebody from headquarters listening right now trying to figure out if I'm slanderizing or falsifying or whatever. All of these things are alleged. All these things are alleged. But so I actually do have an event coming up next week. I'm partnering with the Frederick Douglass Foundation of Ohio. They are having a Black Wall Street Marketplace and Expo at the Woodlawn Recreation Center. I highly suggest that everybody comes out and supports that event. That starts at 3 p.m. And then at 6 p.m., there will be a panel discussion with Dr. Umar Johnson. I'm on that panel along with, oh, what is his name? Let me see if I can find it. It's the young man who put together the Grow community. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, what is that man's name? Choo choo choo
I don't
choo.
know.
Um, Aaron Mallory. He is from the Grow community. He will also be on that panel with me. That's the very same day that I will be launching my podcast. I have created a podcast called Forward. That is the name of it, Forward with Raven Monday. And basically, I chose the name Forward because over the last year or so, I have had this idea in my mind. This is what I intended to do with my show. I think I might have said that before I left about there, that I had planned to change the name of my show from the wrap up, because when I originally came up with the name, it was just to wrap up, whatever people had missed on the Lincoln Ware show. I was gonna wrap up them same stories in a condensed 2 hour time, and we was gonna go through the week with understanding what we talked about the week before. But I chose the name Forward because the concept of pushing the needle forward has been heavily on my mind, heart, and spirit for about a year now. I have, witnessed a lot of conversation. I have, just been in enough spaces with some of my elders who have been deeply in the trenches of community issues, of community activism, and I have heard their outcries for young people to kind of come and pick up some of these mantles, come in, pick up the torch. And because some of our elders are aging out. I'm just gonna be real about it. Some of our elders, and I don't mean it in no disrespectful way, I just mean that they're getting tired. They have made activism their life's work and they are in their retirement years. They are getting to a point where they have given all that they can. They have made sacrifice after sacrifice after sacrifice. It's our turn, y'all. Millennials, 30 somethings, late 20 somethings, even early 20 somethings, and all, and those Gen Zs. It's our turn. It's our turn to push, to do our part in pushing that needle forward. And so that's gonna be the gist of my podcast. I do plan to launch that on the 20th. Um all of my information, my first episode will be dropping that same day, so you can listen to the episode and then you can come to the event, or you can come to the event and listen to the episode, whatever you choose to do. But I will be launching all of that on the 20th. I hope to see you at that event at the Woodlawn Rec Center on the 20th. Again, that panel discussion does start at 6 p.m. and as far as I know, the tickets are sold out. I have been getting all kind of calls and DMs and text messages about how people can come to that event. It is sold out. They have even had to create an overflow room because they oversold the event. So I would highly suggest, this is what I've been told by one of the event organizers. If you come to the Black Wall Street event, they are going to have a sign up list where if some ticket holders don't attend the event, they will make room for other people to then access those seats. So if you come to that Black Wall Street event and you sign a waiting list, you might be able to get it into either the main room or the overflow room. So I still suggest if you want to come to the Black Wall Street event that takes place beforehand. But
Now,
that will be when I officially launch everything that I'm doing.
now, when you do your show, will it be live? Will it be a show that's posted that's not live? Will you have live interaction with people? Is when it starts, or that might be something you do later down the road?
So, and that's why I need your help, sir, because my the version of podcasting that I'm used to doing is audio only. I'm
Okay.
trying not to do that. I am trying to add video because that is the new nature of podcasting. If there's no video, ain't nobody listening for real. So I am trying to record video as well. And it might take me some time to get it live because I don't all that technical stuff. I'm gonna have to learn a little bit before I get to that point. But I think the first episode that I drop, it won't be able to be live just yet. But the goal is to go live eventually.
Okay. Okay. Well, you I don't even really have to tell you. If you need help, just holler at me and I'll definitely help you out. I don't see why your first one couldn't be live if you wanted it to be.
I
Um,
mean, like I said, if we can figure that out between now and then I'm all for that.
okay, we'll talk. We'll talk offline, as they say. Um, Let me see. It was something. How did you get connected with the people to be on that panel? Uh, and again, what is the panel about? Something about the family, the black family.
Yes, it's a panel discussion about the black family or the state of the black family, and the overall theme is where do we go from here. So I truthfully I do that is going to be like the topic of discussion, but also I'm fully 100% expecting for us to also touch on some of the things that are happening in the city, especially with this whole Lincoln Heights thing, because like I said, it's national news at this point. I don't see him coming to the city and not having anything to say about it or about what's currently happening. Which by the way, if you are able, people, please show up to the rolling car protest on Monday. I believe it was put together by Councilman Durance Daniels, and a few other people. If you want information to that, I will send you the link if you want to just DM me. But that the overall theme or original theme was the state of the black family. Where do we go from here? But I'm quite sure we'll be also talking about how to better organize and mobilize in the city of Cincinnati as well. So if you want to know anything about that, I would suggest that you come as well. But
Let
to
me
answer
ask.
your question,
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
about how I was, kind of folded into it. One of the event organizers, shout out to Miss Linda Matthews. One of the event organizers reached out to me. She said that she had heard me on my show on Saturdays. That she said she listened every Saturday. She heard me. She liked how I, handled my show. She appreciated my perspective, and she wanted my perspective to be present on that panel. And so she made the offer. I accepted, and here we are.
All right, that's what's up. Um, I was about to ask you another question and it slipped my mind. Someone asked about your Cash App. I guess they wanna show you some love and support. Are you comfortable putting a Cash App out there so if anybody wanted to show you some support, they could do that?
Sure. Actually, I was on the Facebook Live. I'll just put it in the chat.
Okay.
I'll
So
make sure to put it in my chat.
she's gonna put that in the chat, and if y'all wanna support her, then you can. Um, Hold on. Let me go here. And you're also doing a couple of other things, even currently, as we speak. Did you want to talk about any of that?
Um, a couple of other
Yeah,
things.
you'll be on somebody else's show on a semi-regular basis. You can shout it out. I'm not. I'm not that kind of guy. Uh, and I want people, I want you to get your shine. And if some other people get some shine, off of your shine, it is what it is.
So yes, so I am kind of sort of like a. I don't want to say I'm like. I guess maybe the correct term is a featured guest. I guess, or maybe like a reoccurring guest. You know how you
Okay.
have like a sitcom, and then they have a certain character that like kind of jumps in and out. They ain't really part of the main cast, but they kind of jump in and out. I guess you could say that I'm kind of like that. I'm a fixture on the Hot Mic podcast with Nathan Ivey, Kevin Aldridge, Kevin Gordon, who I believe is on. I'm gonna have to get better at remembering that because I don't really listen to that station because they be talking about stuff that they be talking about stuff, and I'm gonna leave it at that. But Kevin Gordon, who is also a radio professional, as well as Phil, what is his last name, man? Phil Heimel or something like that. He was previously on City Council.
Heimlich?
Um, Heimlich, yes,
Okay.
Heimlich. He was previously on City Council. And sometimes there are other guests who rotate, like myself, within the podcast as well. But it usually happens every Tuesday and Friday at 1 p.m. Actually, I missed being on Nathan's podcast, Hot Mic, today because I was in preparation of this whole thing. I hope you're not too angry with me, too upset with me, but I
Yeah.
believe I'll be back on Tuesday. So we'll see what happens.
All right. I just want people to know that you are out there. Your voice is still being heard. You're not quiet.
Yeah.
And
And
you
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 will see
are
me out at different events as well. Like I'm even in the process of putting together a few events because I don't want for what happened in Lincoln Heights and the youth response to what happened in Lincoln Heights is what really is intriguing to me. Like the ones who really first pulled up and responded to that incident over there on the bridge was young people. It was the youth. It was young black men and women who responded first, and then eventually it became all of us. But I wanted to be made very clear that it was young black men on that bridge handling business, and I don't want them to. You know how you feel that for a while and then you don't do nothing with it and you let it dissipate and it don't go nowhere. I don't want that to happen. I want for that momentum to continue. That's why I said if you know any young people who were there or who felt some type of way about because it's been all over Facebook and Instagram since it happened, invite all of them young people who have that type of free time to come and do the rolling car protest. I'm quite sure there's going to be some information being given out. I'm quite sure it's going to be more opportunities for us to come together and protest, show up to Lincoln Heights and Evendale Community Council meetings. Like, don't let this opportunity go to waste. We have the chance to create a movement that can create some momentum in this city that will really get us where we want to be. I want us to make sure that we also know that we have elections coming up this year locally. I want us to be very informed. And so in that effort, I myself am I'm putting together different events. I'll be moderating different events throughout the year. I'm putting together a few of my own in that effort to encourage my peers and the youth in general to become more involved in the community and more involved in addressing some of these issues. And so just continue to, like I said, continue to support me. You can follow me on Facebook if you haven't already, or you can follow me on Instagram. My Instagram name, which I'm probably gonna have to change now, but my Instagram name is Radio Bay Ray. So if you want to follow me over there, I'm posting some things over there as well. I can't be silenced. I talk too much. So you gonna continue to hear me talk and continue to see me places. I think the next Black political event is the same day as the Black Expo. So I might not make it to that, but we'll see what happens. I'm just know that you will see my face and you will hear my voice. Absolutely.
okay. Um, did you have anything else that you wanted to share? Anything at all?
Just that I don't have no bad blood, like I said before. I don't have no bad blood with Radio One. I don't have no bad blood with Lincoln Ware or anybody who still currently works there. It's not gonna be a situation where I see him out, certain places in this beef, and it's got to be no tension or none of that. I still
You
have.
so you don't think that there's a chance that you're gonna be out and you're gonna see Lincoln and you're gonna say, "Hey, Lincoln," and he gonna be like he don't see you. You don't think that's gonna happen?
I don't. I don't don't know. I have no idea. I don't believe so. I don't think so.
I
But
don't
you
think
never
so.
know. I
I
don't
don't
know.
think
I
so
don't
either.
know. I don't think so though.
I don't think
Um,
so either. I've
like I
experienced it.
said, me and Lincoln, believe it or not, me and Lincoln had a very funny love hate relationship. Like it, things could get tense because we're both, like I said, we're both Aries, and so we're used to knocking heads when we disagree. But once the disagreement is over, ain't no beef with Lincoln. So I don't have no bad blood in my heart for Lincoln. I pray all the success and good health and all the good things in the world. Happy Valentine's Day to him and his wife and his family. I ain't got no bad blood with nobody. But what you're not gonna do is, like I said, try to offer me $2,000 worth of hush money and think I'm gonna shut up. It's not happening. So, with all that being said, yeah, I don't. That's really all I had to say. No bad blood. I appreciate the opportunity that I was given to create a platform at Radio One, but I will be taking what I built with me, and I will be expanding on that, and I will be serving my community.
I want you to know, I'm still upset that they did not give you an opportunity. You know, when I left, I gave them a suggestion. And my suggestion was give Raven this spot. Give Raven that spot. She's ready. She's ready, but they didn't
They
hear
didn't
me.
think so.
And
I will say, and this is just this is a opinion. This is not fact, but this is my opinion. I believe that when you made your departure, I do believe that I was supposed to go with you. I believe that that was the expectation. I don't know, maybe just by the grace of God that wasn't the case, but that was the expectation because I know when somebody else, and I'm not gonna say no names, but I know when somebody else got hired, the intention was for them to begin producing your show and your departure, and for me to get the fuck on somewhere. I guess I don't know, but that didn't necessarily pan out like that. Um, and so I think that they just was not expecting for me to, if you give me this chance to get behind this mic, do what I said I was gonna do in my interview. I don't know if the same belief that you had in me and my ability to carry that mantle. I don't know if they felt that way. I don't. I feel like I distinctly remember a conversation where it was told to me, "Yeah, we just don't think that you're ready. We don't think that They just didn't think I was ready. They didn't think that I had the strength to do so, and so they tossed me. You know, fit me in between a football game or a basketball game here and there on a Saturday, and was like, all right, well, we don't feel like you're ready for Monday through Friday, but we can find some space for you on a Saturday for 2 hours. And I don't think that they thought that I was gonna take that 2 hours on a
and I don't
Saturday and
think
do
that they
something with it.
thought that I was gonna take that 2 hours on a Saturday and do something with it.
Oh,
Okay.
oh.
Yeah,
I'm
my
hearing
something just
I'm hearing
myself.
happened with
myself.
yeah, something just happened with my sound. Hold on a second.
Oh
Oh
Jesus.
Jesus.
All right, you still there?
Yeah,
Okay.
I can still hear myself, but
Yeah, it is
but
what it
yeah,
is.
all that to say that I do believe that they thought that I would be able to do all that I was able to do, but that's not my problem. I'm going to take what I was able to do, and like I said, expand on it and go forth and prosper.
Well, I'm glad you did not leave when I left, because when I left, you didn't have the connections and relationships and all that stuff that you have now. So I'm glad that you
Absolutely.
stayed and got more experience and all of that kind of stuff. Um, all right. Now she said she was willing to take any questions from people. Y'all know I can't take phone calls right now because everything will be crazy, and
Mm.
my audio just went crazy just now. But if y'all got any questions, y'all can put them in the chat. Y'all can put any questions in the chat. But other than that, because I got a few questions. I'm not trying to be messy. I promise. I'm not trying to be messy. But what was the mood like there at Radio One? Do you feel like they are like I told you, I feel like when Lincoln is gone, it's over. Do you feel that way?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm gonna try to keep talking because it is a little bit distracting to hear myself. But What I will say is that I do think that once Lincoln does finally decide to retire for real and not just say it every year, once he does finally decide to step away from that mic, what'll most likely happen, because it's just the most cost efficient, is that they will syndicate all of the shows on that station. Can you still hear me? Okay. So you can hear me, but I can't hear you. I cannot hear you at all. Can the people still hear me? That's my question. Can y'all still hear me? I don't know if they can hear me. That's the so y'all can hear me, but y'all can't hear him. Okay, well, I guess till he figure out how to come back, I'll answer the question. But yeah, so what I my guess is what'll happen is when Lincoln makes his departure, what they'll end up doing, because I've seen it done now enough times to know that this is kind of like how they operate. What'll likely happen is they will syndicate every station or every show on that station. They did it when they got rid of Emmanuel. They gave you that syndicated Al Sharpton show. They, I believe, they got rid of Tom Joyner, which was already syndicated, and gave you another syndicated show, which was the Erica Campbell show. And so my guess is they'll give Lincoln a great send off, and then they'll give you a syndicated show. They probably won't let him leave until maybe like a Friday. It'll be his last show, and then that Monday, you will probably most likely have a syndicated show. Until they decide to get rid of the whole AM side in general, because I believe that is the push. They are working towards getting rid of all of their AM stations. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. So let me put that out there. But if my understanding is correct, Radio One is in the process of getting rid of all of their AM stations, and the buzz is no longer on the FM frequency. We are only on the AM frequency, and so that's my guess. They'll probably do syndicated until they get rid of the entire platform altogether.
Okay.
And I can hear you now.
You can
Yes,
hear me now. Okay.
yes.
Um, Ronald says, so I missed out. Why is Raven not on the air anymore? Raven, did you want to answer that?
Layoffs is the easy answer. Layoffs. I got laid off.
Hold on. Let me scroll down. And if you, because I believe you can see the comments as well.
Hmm.
Um, if you see something that you felt like needed an answer. Okay, Jerica's.
I just saw her question. So that's a great question, Jerica.
Hold on, let
So
me.
if I would,
Jerica wants to know because some people are do they just listen.
oh, okay.
Jerica wants to know if they offered you the opportunity, would you return?
So before I answer that question, I have to give some context. And these questions are flying. So if you see some that you think I should answer, please try and keep track of them while I'm talking. But so if I would have signed the severance agreement, that would not have been an option, which is the crazy part. So if I would have signed the severance agreement, within the terms, it states that if I accept the payment and I sign the agreement, that I would have to be like it released Radio One legally of ever having to do business with me, of ever having to rehire me, of ever having to like do anything with me as far as employment or conducting business. And so if I would have accepted the severance, the agreement, I would not have had the opportunity to come back to Radio One. That's number one. Now, because I've decided not to accept the severance, if they were to, for whatever reason, which I don't see them doing it now since I'm spilling all the tea, but if they were to do it now, probably not, because I just feel disrespected. Like, and it's not, like I said, I know that it's business. I know they had to do what they had to do to be more cost efficient, but I do feel that I was undervalued. I do feel like I was extremely undervalued. The only raise that I got in the last 5 years was because they had to, because they were raising the minimum wage company wide. That was the only reason why I got a raise. I asked for a raise. I begged for a raise and was told that it wasn't within the budget to give me a raise. I was making $10 an hour. Who survives on even in 2019? Who is surviving on $10 an hour at the kind of job that gives you part time hours, but also because I was solely a board op at that time. If it was any chance that I need to come to the studio on my off time and come run the board or come fix something or come do something, I would have to have that free time. Otherwise, there's no job stability for me. So there was no way for me to keep multiple jobs. The only reason why my wage lifted was because company wide they made it a requirement that you cannot pay your employees under 15. So I had a huge jump from 10 to 15 only because of that, not because I was valued that much. So
Now, and just so y'all, so that there's some consistency. Y'all remember? I think it was last week I was sharing with y'all that when they were bringing people in, they told me that I could only offer them $10 an hour, no matter who it was, whether it was a former mayor, whether it was a pillar of the community, no matter who it was, I could only offer them
yeah.
$10 an hour. And so there were people who wanted to do a show, but they wasn't willing to do $10 an hour. And that made sense to me. But just so y'all
And
see, I don't be
again,
making that stuff up.
this is with somebody who was degreed, because there are many of Radio One employees who never went to broadcasting school, and that's not no knock or disrespect to them, but I went to school for this, and I'm walking in the door with a degree in media broadcasting, and I'm only being offered $10 an hour. It's kind, and not only that, but eventually I am on two stations because I didn't just have a show on Saturday on the bus. I was also every Sunday from 7 a.m. to 12 noon. I was on the Wiz. So I'm a talent on two stations. And I'm a board op on any station that needs a board op, and at the moment, because I board opped on all of those stations in there. The only station that I probably have never had anything to do with was the Hispanic station, because I don't speak Spanish, and that's about it. But if I did, I probably would have. Like, the amount of work that I am having to do while surviving on a minimum wage, it just is it, like I said, I felt extremely undervalued, and I don't think that unless it was like a really hefty paycheck, they could persuade me to come back and work at Radio One. At least not in this phase of my life. Um so yeah, I hope that answered your question, Jerica. I at this time, I probably would not. I just don't feel like I was ever truly valued. I don't feel like I said, I had to learn how to do stuff first and ask permission later, and I just don't feel like I feel like that's a little stressful to have to deal with, and I did it for 5 years. So yeah, I just at this time I would say no.
Um, Somebody wanted to know, and I know the answer to this, but I'll let you answer. Will you still be on the Wiz?
No, I will not. So once they let you go, you don't do nothing for them no more. I will no longer be on the Wiz.
Yeah, she's no longer with the company. So yeah, there's no nothing. Hold on. Let me see. Is there another question here? Someone wants to know, did you hear rumors that this was coming?
No, had no idea. I had no idea. Nope.
And so this happened on what, that was Monday, right?
Yes.
And how did they do, like after Lincoln's show, were they just like, hey, can we see you for a second?
Lincoln show was literally, so you know how when Lincoln show go off, we played that Lou Rawls song. The song had just started playing when our general manager opened the studio door and was like, "Hey, is Lincoln show over?" And I said, "Well, yeah, in maybe like a few seconds he'll be done for the day." And he said, "Okay, cool. When you're finished with that, come with me to my office." And so he said he stood right there in the door of the studio as I closed out Lincoln's show. And as soon as I finished, he walked out of the room. I followed him back to his office and he sat me down. He had already had HR on Zoom, prepped and ready to go. He had me have a seat. He closed the door. He sat down, and he gave me the whole spiel about organizational changes and to remain in compliance. And we gotta let you go. And then before I could even process what was happening, the lady from HR chimed in. Well, we will be sending you a severance, and you only have until so again for the severance agreement they give you a limited amount of time to sign or accept it. And so I was another reason why I was so quiet about it is because I was trying to get my business in order. I was trying to get in contact with an attorney to look over because I couldn't understand all the legal jargon. So I had to take some time to find an attorney to look it over. Um, and to truly give me a sense of what was being said clearly before I could make my decision. I only had until the 17th. And so I took my time. I had an attorney look over it, and I weighed my options, my pros and cons. And before I could even truly come to a decision, I had because I do consider Miss Iris to be one of my mentors, most certainly in the advocacy space. And I had a conversation with her, and like I said, 48 hours later, she had $2,000 cash in hand for me. I pulled up on her at the road show. She gave it to me, and my decision was made. So yeah, it was very quick. It was very quick. It was very swift. It was very, matter of fact. Um, Kind of just told me what it was. I didn't really ask too many questions because I felt like at that point it was pointless. You had already made up your mind. There was no fighting for my job. The decision was made. So he said what he had to say. I said okay. Went to go get my stuff out the studio. Handed him all of my keys and my badges and stuff as I was walking out, which is what Lincoln saw, and he thought that they was just gonna replace it because something was wrong with it. Walked me out, or at least walked me to the elevator, and that was it. I have not been back to that building since.
Can I just say this is a little side note? Um, Iris, when I left, they offered me $10,000, and I didn't take it. So
He a
I'll be over the
lie.
roast show.
He a lie.
I'll be over the roast show next week,
He
next
a lie.
Thursday. um, no, that was really cool of Iris to look out for you like that.
Absolutely. And from what I was told, it was her in addition to a few other people like Tracy Artist and some other folks. I think Ozzy Davis and a few other folks as well. So again, big shout out to all of them. But I know it was Miss Iris who put the word out. So big shout out and thank you and I love you to Miss Iris.
Sierra wants to know, Raven, are you planning on staying independent? Are you looking for another broadcast opportunity like TV or a different radio station?
I'm open. I'm open to a different like a different company. I've considered like putting in an application over at iHeart, but truthfully speaking, the kind of conversations that I plan to have this year, they cannot live on a on a regular radio station. It has to be independent. The kind of conversations that I have, they have to be self-funded. They have to be self-created because ain't nobody gonna pay me to come talk real shit on the radio or real shit on the TV on your TV. Like if they do, it's gonna be a bastardized version of it. Is going to be a very limited, hindered, politically correct version of it. And I just don't feel like in 2025 we got time to have politically correct conversations. It's work to be done. There are certain things and certain conversations that I need to be able to have that cannot be had when I am limited by a paycheck. I just can't do that right now. So for the time being, I very much so plan on staying independent.
All right. Ibidathia says, do you still get to keep your show to wrap up? No. No, she's not with the company anymore. I mean, she could still name her show the wrap up if she wanted to, but she said she was talking about changing that anyway. So, but if you wanted to add something to that.
Yeah, yeah, so uh, not really. It just I can't the kind of like I said, the kind of content, the kind of conversations that I intend to have, they would never survive on a platform that is backed by big radio or TV or whatever. If they can't monetize the conversation, they're not gonna let you have it. So it just wouldn't make very much sense. Me creating a platform is my form of advocacy. It's my form of activism. This is my lane. I am very good at identifying my lane and sticking to it. And I am prepared to make the sacrifices in order to do so. I don't have to be paid to say what's right. I don't have to be paid to tell the truth. Um and so it's that's not to say that I won't or I'm refusing to be, but I don't have to be in order to have these conversations. So it just makes more sense to stay independent. But if somebody does decide to take a chance on me, I'm more than happy and I'm more than willing to do so.
Okay, somebody want to know, did you sign a non-compete agreement?
No, I did not. So a few things about that. So sometime last year, it came down that and this was in the news. It came down that non-compete agreements were no longer legally standing. Um and so even if I had, it would not even be a factor at this point in time. But because I was a part-time employee, technically, although I was on talent on two different stations doing a full-time air shift, which is crazy. I was never under contract. So typically if you are under contract, you signed a non-compete. But because I was never under contract, I never signed a non-compete. So I could really go anywhere.
Deirdre Kelly, oh no, I hit the wrong button. Wants to know, what about a podcast, Raven?
So yes, so you must not have been here earlier. So I am creating a podcast. It will be launching on the 20th, the same day of the Black Wall Street Expo that is happening at Woodlawn Rec Center. All of my imaging and promotional materials will be at that event with me. But I will be launching on that very same day. And it is called Forward with Raven Monday, and the concept behind it is having the kind of conversations that embolden us and empower us to continue pushing the needle forward.
All right. Um, and a few people saying, hey, start a podcast and we'll support you. And y'all say that, but don't just say it, do it. Don't just say it, do it. She told y'all. I'll probably get it wrong. When are you starting your podcast?
So the first episode, I plan to drop that on February 20th. That is the official launch date for my podcast.
All right. Um, let's see.
And real quick, because this guy, like, I gotta be better at this, but I have to respond because he been in the chat this whole entire hour and a half saying the same thing over and over again. Dude, he said something about me being entitled, and I can't take listening to this heifer over and over again. You know that there's an X button somewhere on your screen, right? That you can just click off of it and go on somewhere. He said something about me being entitled and all this other kind of stuff. If you feel that way, you don't have to listen to me talk. You can very easily click the X and go somewhere, bro. Nobody's forcing you to listen to this conversation. If you don't like what I'm saying, if you never like what I'm saying, why are you paying attention to me? You should see my face and run. If I'm as unappealing and unattractive and all the things to you, why are you here?
All
Why do you
right.
care what I'm doing and what I have to say about Radio 1? Why do you care? Is my question. You
And
go
he,
somewhere.
I know he did, and just because I'm a person, this is why I don't have them kind of relationships. Fame, he did say that because that's who's sending a lot of the comments. He mentioned, like, oh, they fired Nathan Ivey and they fired Jerry Tolliver and they ain't whining about it. I don't know that she's whining.
I'm
She's just
just
sharing her.
People ask me questions and I'm answering them. That's
Yeah, she's
it.
just telling the truth about what happened. And while some people may not have outwardly and openly whined, some people blamed other people for what happened to them that didn't have a damn thing to do with it.
And
You know?
also,
So,
as I said before, it is, although I think your whole situation maybe was a little bit different, but it is, because that's also stated in the agreement as well. It is Radio One policy to, when they terminate somebody, to offer them a severance agreement. So if somebody was terminated and accepted the severance agreement, of course they haven't said anything because they accepted the agreement. They are not allowed to say anything, or they could be sued or penalized or made to give that money back. So if they accepted these services, which I'm not judging, that's your business because I so considered it. But if they accepted the standard severance agreement that comes with being terminated from Radio One, of course they didn't say anything about it. Stupid. That's the point.
and let me say, because I know Iris asked, I don't know if she was just joking or not, But yeah, my situation was different. I wasn't offered an NDA. I wasn't offered severance. They just told me, get the F out of here, bro. You won't take this shot, you got to go. So
Yeah.
yeah, I wasn't offered none of that stuff. So yeah, no, I didn't sign nothing or anything like that. Um, okay, that seemed like that's about all of the questions and all of the comments. Of course,
Why
you
are
know,
you
I
so
wish you well.
angry? Why is he so angry? He done called me a bitch and all kind of stuff. Why is that man so angry? I'm
I
gonna
don't
pray
know.
for you, sir. I don't know who that is, the betting, public sports, whatever it is. I'm gonna pray for you, sir, because you are so angry. I
It's
don't know what
come on,
I
it's
don't know what that
fame. That's
is.
fame.
Uh oh, he mad because I blocked him off. He mad at me because I blocked him off the Lincoln Ware show. That's what he mad about.
But you know me. I wish you the best. I'm gonna be there to support you. I want to get your podcast on all of these platforms, and you probably know platforms that I don't know because I'm almost 60 and you much younger. So yeah, we gonna work it. We gonna get your podcast on every platform that we can, and yeah, I ain't taking credit for it. You know what I'm saying? But I will definitely be there to help you, and help you amplify your voice, motivate people to push the needle forward. So, um, and just so on my show, typically here, uh, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5, every daggone day of the week, faithful without fail. Um, I normally get about 12 people watching at any given time. And it's like 137 people here now, cross
Really?
platforms. Now, in
I
the
didn't know people
grand
cared that
scheme of,
much.
huh?
I said I didn't know people cared that much.
Yeah, in the grand scheme of things, somebody might say that's not a whole lot, but that just says to me people wanted to hear your voice. They wanted to know what's going on. A part of why they want to know what's going on, people don't like being left in the dark. Like, I feel like when you do these things, you develop a relationship with people. And
Mm.
I'm not really telling you anything you don't know. I'm not really telling you. I'm just kind of saying. You develop a relationship with people. And you almost become like family. And so for a family member to just disappear and nobody say nothing, like he was he was sitting at dinner yesterday. You know what I'm saying? My little brother was sitting at dinner right next to me yesterday, and today he just not there. And mama and daddy ain't saying nothing. Like, where is Timmy? Where the hell is Timmy? And you asking mama and daddy, like, where the hell is Timmy? And they like, I don't want to talk about Timmy. You know what I'm saying? Or they ain't even, they just ignore that you even asking the question. And then eventually, mama or daddy be like, that's a family issue that we don't really want to discuss. And so people are like, come on, man, this is it. I don't like that. I understand it's business, the way things are done, but that's not the way that people do. And so people wanted to hear from you. I'm glad that you were able to come in and let us know where Timmy was and that Timmy is all right. And, Timmy will be back,
Timmy didn't
maybe
fall
not at
down the
this
well and
table,
die. Timmy
but
didn't fall down
we
the well
will
and
be
die.
able to sit and eat with Timmy at some point later on and show
Yeah.
Timmy love.
Timmy just at a different table. That's all.
That's
That's
it.
all. Timmy didn't fall down the well and die. Lassie ain't gotta go home and tell nobody what happened. Timmy all right. Timmy cool. But just to reiterate, number one, I didn't quit. I was laid off slash terminated. I didn't say anything about it for the last couple of weeks because I was wagering whether or not. Why do I keep doing stuff and stuff is happening? I'm gonna put my hands down. So I was laid off slash terminated. It wasn't because of performance. It wasn't because of anything that I said on air or anything that I did. Lincoln Ware didn't have nothing to do with it. It was just around the layoffs, and I just happened to make the cut, quite literally. I don't have any bad blood with Radio One, with Lincoln Ware, anybody else who works there. What else? What else? Because I know there was some other stuff going around. It didn't have nothing to do with me saying or talking about the boycotting of Target or any of that, because I didn't encourage anybody to do anything. We were having a conversation about boycotting and the concept of boycotting, and I happened to make some suggestions, but I didn't say that people should go out and boycott. So that had nothing to do with it either. Somebody else asked me, what platforms will my podcast live on? They will be here on Facebook. They will be on YouTube because I do have a YouTube channel. They will be on Instagram and any other social media platform that you have access to. I'll make sure to, share all that information once I get everything up and going. Um, and yeah, it just really ain't no bad blood. Everything that I've shared today, outside of talking about the actual, procedure of me being terminated, all of the rest of that was just what I believe. I'm not saying any of that is fact or true or like you can, place all your bets on it. It's just some of the stuff that I believe to be true because of the experiences that I've had. And so I want that to be made clear. But all in all, I'm okay. I am fine. I am currently being fielded for other, employment opportunities. So I'm not some, unemployed degenerate. I did file for unemployment maybe like 2 days ago because I wasn't really thinking about it. But somebody suggested that I do that, so I did it. But I'm fine. I'm okay. I am blessed and highly favored, in the words of Kelly Prather. I am blessed and highly favored, and I'm all right. I'm cool. Um, I appreciate all the love and the support. People reached out to me in DMs and texted me and called me, and I didn't say anything. And it wasn't because I didn't value your love and support. I just could not speak on it because I had to talk to an attorney before I decided and made my decision about what I was going to do with this severance agreement. Which, if I had accepted it, we would not be having this conversation. And I think that it's important for somebody who wants my voice to be seen as honest and to be and truthful and real and raw. I think it's important for me to tell you all that so that you know that when I'm having conversations and I'm talking about things in a public space in a public format, you can bank on it being the truth. And that's one of the main reasons I decided not to accept the severance. You're not going to silence me. You're not going to tell me what I can and cannot talk about and I don't work for you anymore. That's not how that works. And
All,
so
all right, now before you go, one last time, tell people about the event going on what, the 20th.
the 20th. So on this coming Thursday, the 20th, you can meet me at the Woodlawn Recreation Center for the Black Wall Street Marketplace and Expo. That is popping off at 3 p.m. And then the panel discussion with Dr. Umar Johnson is starting at 6 p.m. It is a sold out event, but if you come to the Black Wall Street Expo, they will have a wait list that you can sign so that if all of the ticket holders who got tickets to the event don't show up, they will be willing to offer people those seats. And I believe there's also an overflow room. So if they can get enough people into the overflow room, which I think is like an auditorium or something like that, you will also have first dibs. If you sign a wait list, you'll have first dibs to those seats in the overflow room. So I would highly suggest that if you're gonna come, make sure you come to that Black Wall Street Expo that happens at 3 p.m.
And then let people know about the I don't know if podcast or the show
Oh
coming
yeah.
up.
So yeah, so my podcast again, it is called Forward with Raven Monday. I will also be launching it that day. My episode will be dropping that very same day. It'll be my plan is for it to happen before that event. Um, so that you'll have that and then you can come see me at the event and all my promotional material will be there. That's the plan as it stands, but it'll be called Forward with Raven Monday. And again, the whole concept behind the name is I want to create conversations that encourage and empower us to continue pushing the needle forward. So that's my next move. If that's the next time you'll be able to hear my voice.
And then last question before we go. Who is the best supervisor that you have ever had?
That would be the illustrious Emanuel Livingston,
Who is also known as
the king of talk.
There you go. There you go.
Somebody else, real
Raven.
quick. Real quick. Somebody asked me if that event will be live streamed. It will. You will have to go to, if I'm not mistaken, you'll have to go. There's a YouTube channel for the Frederick Douglass Foundation, but I think they also have they'll have be live streaming from their website as well. And that's just fdfohio.com. So there will be a live stream, and I'll share that link when I get it. There will be a live stream for the event as well. And before we end all of this, because I can say this now, and I've been saying it, but I'm gonna say it again. Um, within that building of Radio One, from day one, the one and only person that I have felt fully and totally supported, loved, and protected by is that man right up there, Emanuel Livingston. It didn't take him no time to decide that I was valuable. It didn't take him no time to decide that my voice needed to be heard. It didn't take him no time to decide that supporting me was something that he wanted to do. Pouring into me was something that he wanted to do. It took him no time to make the decision. He heard me say a few words one time just by simply asking me to share my thoughts on something that he was talking about one day on his show, and decided from that moment that my voice needed to be heard, that it needed to be uplifted, and that he was going to create the space for me to do so. So if I don't say thank you to nobody else, I have to say thank you to the king of talk himself, Mr. Emanuel Livingston, because it's because of you that I have felt so empowered to have a voice and to do the things that I've been able to do on that radio station for the last few years. There would be no wrap up. There would be no names to know. There would be no money conversation with Michelle Graves. There would be no real estate talk with Tiffany Ray Smith. There would be none of that if it were not for an Emanuel Livingston looking at me and saying, you know what? I like your tenacity. I like what I see in you. I like your spunk, kid. I'm gonna put you on. And if you really want it, I'll give you my platform and let you do what you need to do. Nobody else in that building ever had any of that energy for me. Nobody. Hear me when I say it. Nobody. Nobody took me under their wing. Nobody mentored me. Nobody decided, hey, I see you doing something over there, kid. Let me help you. Nobody else did that. Not a single soul. It was Emanuel Livingston. It broke my heart when they decided to get rid of him because I knew I would no longer be protected in that building. I am blessed to have survived without him as long as I did. This was always the plan. But I want us to understand it was Emanuel Livingston who mentored me, who took me under his wing, who introduced me to people and made sure that my name and my voice was heard. It was Emanuel Livingston and nobody else. And with that, I'm done.
Well, thank you, Miss Monday. As always, much love to you. Um, like you said, from day one, and it don't stop. So yeah, we gonna get together. We gonna make sure that your thing is straight, 100%.
Appreciate you. Love you. And I will see y'all on Thursday. Matter of fact, no. I'll see you Monday because y'all coming to the rolling car protest. So I'll see y'all on Monday.
All right, that's Raven Monday. Thank you, Raven. All right, that's Raven Monday. So there you go. That's the story. That's the long and the short of it. She was let go, and she gonna be all right. Uh, oh, can I do calls now? I got a call or two coming in. I'll try it. Twin. Hold on, I can't hear you. Hold on a second. Oh, if I try to change this, I'm gonna go. Oh, oh. Hold on a second, twin. Hold on. All right, can you hear me, twin?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, and can y'all hear twin? I gotta check this because I don't know. Can y'all hear twin? Twin, say something to the people.
Can y'all hear me?
Now we gotta wait a few seconds so that they can respond. Okay, they're saying that they cannot hear you.
What's wrong with your cord, man?
It's nothing.
Cord or something?
Ain't nothing wrong with my cord. Ain't not. Hold on. Let me see if I can figure this part out. Boom, boom, boom. This should be it coming in right there. Right there. I don't. Is it again? I had to go to a different platform to to do the show that way. Um, hold on. If uh, hold on a second, twin. Hold on. Audio settings. Speaker. He should be coming in. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, now can y'all hear? Still no sound? There's no reason to not have sound. Everything seems to be just looking at everything. Okay, now they say they can hear me loud and clear. Okay, thank you. All right, go ahead, twin.
Can they hear me?
I'm not sure if they can hear you.
You saying what?
I'm saying go ahead and talk, bro.
Man, I'll call right back.
Okay. He said he gonna call right back. Um, okay, the phone thing ain't working. The phone thing ain't working, which again, uh, that's why I switched over to my other platform. That's why I switched over to my other platform because I was having issues getting the phone to work here. Even though I did, the phones ain't working. The phones are not working. CK,
Hey, how you doing, Mr. Livingston?
CK, I'm doing good. You know, the phones ain't really working.
Oh, it ain't. Oh, it ain't. You say, well, just tell all the lovely ladies up there Happy Valentine's Day. Do that something. You can
I'm
do
sorry,
that.
I didn't even understand what you said.
I said, tell all the lovely ladies. I said, Happy Valentine's Day. It's on Sweet K. You heard it?
I heard you say CK.
I said, tell the lovely ladies. I said, Happy Valentine's Day on Sweet K.
All right.
Thank you, brother.
All right. All right. Uh, the ladies, CK said Happy Valentine's Day. Now let me guess. Y'all can't hear me now. Y'all can't hear me now. Okay, they could hear CK good. Couldn't nobody hear twin. Right. Twin.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yes.
You good? You good?
I'm good.
Yeah, man. I almost bought some tears, man. Thought I was gonna go down on 15 get some tissue, man. But I see you a square for a fair, man. She gave you a good shout out and everything, but it's
Just
sad,
hold on,
man.
just for the record, I think you saying that wrong. It's not you.
I say
It's
you-
yeah, it's not you square for a fair. It's you fair for a square.
Man, whatever, man.
I did.
Man, don't correct me. Hey, dang, man, that's messed up, man. That's crazy, man. I said kiss my ass, and you know what? $2,000, man. I thought y'all was making more than that, man. $10 an hour.
I told you.
that's
What
bad.
did you think I was making that up when I told you that?
No, I didn't really. No, it was. You know, you play too much, so I didn't really believe you.
So then, yes, you thought I was making it up.
Man, I don't know what to believe from you. I mean, I kind of believe you, but I thought you. You know, I had to hear from somebody else that's in the studio. You in the basement. So you play too much and you stop playing so much, I believe you.
Okay.
But she in the studio. And so, you probably, you telling on everybody, they didn't do this, Lincoln did this, he make that. And, man, I don't know what to believe, but, we heard it from the source. I'm like, dang, $10 an hour? Yeah, man, hell with these buttons and phone calls. I see why she was taking a nap or whatever behind that screen, but now it's a blessing what she doing, man. It's a blessing what she doing. But I hate the fact, man, that your brother went to corporate like that, man. No wonder he been MIA for so long, not in the chat. He in protective custody or something? What-
I can guarantee you this. He's not MIA because of that. I can guarantee you he had no problems. He was on the opposite side of that railroad issue, and hey, he is.
Hey, that's not the problem. He stay in Toledo. Well, let Cincinnati worry about that.
He is one of those people where he gonna go 100% for what he believe in.
But some of the things you believe in can cause you stuff, man. And you see what happened to him up in there at Kroger. You went to get something that was bogus. Nobody go up in there in no Hicksville, protest on nothing. They ain't about nothing.
He will, because
Well,
he believes in what he believes
Man,
in.
why he ain't come up here the other day in Lincoln Heights then?
Because he wasn't here.
He heard about it, whatever.
That don't even make sense. I can't guarantee.
No, he come all the way
Can I
3
get it
hours
out?
for some bull crap.
Can I get it out? I can almost guarantee you that.
No, I know that's
if
your
he-
brother. You got a cover up for
Hold
him.
on, can I get it out?
Go, player, go.
I can almost guarantee you that if he would have known 3 days in advance that the Nazis was gonna protest on a bridge, he would have probably drove 3 hours to be down here and protest the Nazis.
Is he coming Monday?
I don't know.
What time she say Monday?
I don't know.
I forget. I'll find out whatever time it is Monday. But no, man, that's crazy, man. We shoot our own kind, man. Hey, let Cincinnati deal with that. And then I think, and I know, man, her show was gonna be hype because she bring Irish and them in and other people, and she was booming, and the old school's gonna fade away. It's the new generation time. Ain't nobody gonna want to listen to them no more. You gotta, be up to date. The part what's really going on and everything. So, man, and you can't voice your own opinion and everything, and I can throw my situation 2 cents like we should do it like this, and hey, it might be a better outcome for the station, for the listeners. But no, we're going in a different direction. In a minute, like you say, after Lincoln done, it's over. Unless they have somebody strong that'll, something like him, younger version, but it is what it is. I'm glad, she blessed and not outraged about the situation, and, live another day.
And
well,
again, she wanted it to be clear that she's
Yeah.
not saying, or she's saying, don't be sweating Lincoln about it because it wasn't Lincoln's fault.
No, man, I gotta throw jabs and all that. I'm gonna say what I gotta say. I'm twin. He say what he want to say, so I can say what I want to say.
I'm just sharing her thoughts on it. Okay,
I understand
she sent
all
something.
that. I'm gonna say something about
Hold
it.
on, she sent something. She said February 17th, 12 p.m. at that same overpass in Evendale.
Okay.
That's Monday. Monday at noon, that
Okay.
rolling protest.
Okay. Guess I gotta leave work. I'll be out there.
You didn't leave work to go protest when the Nazis was actually there.
Man, I was at work.
You gonna be at work on Monday.
I'm gonna be at work, but I said I'm coming, didn't
Okay, I'm just saying.
I? But I went that night for a few minutes. I mean, what? They gonna help me pay my bill?
They not gonna help you pay your bills Monday either.
Oh, I got a lot of PTO or whatever.
So then you could have took PTO when the Nazis was there.
No, I had other things to do. I came back that night.
Oh.
What I'm gonna stand on? Man, come on, man. They handled the business situation and everything.
Oh. Okay.
After that, then what? After all this down, then what?
I don't know.
Come on. Okay.
Then the next steps.
Okay. We go see.
Okay.
Man, say this ain't nothing new. I've been around this stuff before, so this ain't nothing new. We do this protest, Martin Luther King walk and everything else. After the same thing, we still go cuss each other out, shoot at one another and everything. So, man, this ain't nothing, man.
I'm not gonna shoot at nobody who ain't shooting at me.
We just got a better. I said, no, you ain't gonna shoot. You probably cuss somebody out, but you ain't gonna shoot.
I don't cuss, so.
Yeah, all right. You just that's why I had to make sure y'all made $10 because you just lied right there. See how you just lied?
No.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Hey, you good? You and your wife have a good Valentine's Day, man. You know I had to call. Anything new besides the Raven talk?
Now you and your fiance have a good Valentine's Day too.
You know, go take off, man. Well, I told her to do something when I get up. I was in that parking lot so bad.
Who takes off work for Valentine's Day?
No, I ain't feeling good, man. I ain't feeling too good. My back been killing me, so I ain't really been feeling good.
Oh.
And everything, I got this back brace on. I took it off now, but I ain't feeling good.
What happened to your back? Lifting too much milk?
No, just lifting periods and lifting period and everything. Just lifting different stuff.
Okay.
And then not resting so much because I get 2-3 hours of sleep just thinking and everything.
Oh.
I do, man. I get a couple hours of sleep. They ain't good, and I ain't been able. I'm like an energizer, but I keep going and man, I'm not sounding faint. But I think I'm gonna sit down this weekend, man. I got to, man.
All
I
right.
ain't young no more. I gotta sit down. Everything. But I'm cool though, man. I'm cool. You be safe, man. Everybody in the chat, I'm gonna keep listening to everything, and I still don't like you.
All right. Hey, Twin, have a good one. Have a good one. All right. That was Twin. Maybe that's the problem. He only get 2 hours of sleep a night. You know what I'm saying? You be up for 22 hours straight, and you go sleep for 2 hours, and then you right back up just thinking. You know, that'll stress you out. And that might make you not think right. So it's reasonable that might, be a factor in, kind of the way he thinks. Will said he here. Wait a minute, Will. I saw your comment. Radio One since he did a flip again. I missed something. No, they Radio One across the board is like cutting their workforce by 5%. And so, yeah, they let Raven go. I think the main issue is that they don't share. You know what I'm saying? They don't share that information with people. And you get rid of, like, if you watching Channel 5, Channel 19, like the meteorologist from Channel 19 is leaving. So guess what? They let you know that he's leaving. Yeah, they don't just show up and he ain't there no more and he's an integral part of the show, but then, he just disappeared and they never talk about it. That be the issue. Like if they just be like, give people an opportunity. All right, y'all knew y'all was gonna get rid of her. Give her an opportunity, and this is just maybe the way to think about doing it. Give her the opportunity to go on and say to the people, hey, this is my last show. Like they could have told her on Saturday. the Saturday before they fired her. So she could have said, you know what, this is my last show here. I'm moving on to something different. So I won't be here anymore. But, you know, thank you all for your support and so on and so forth. She could have, and they give her that opportunity and then, you know, let her go. And then you don't have all of this. People ain't really like, hey, what's going on? Where is this person? Where is that person? Is they fired? Did they quit? Did they get in trouble? They suspended? They on vacation? Just give people opportunity. I think Radio 1 be too scared. Radio 1 be too scared. Like, to the point when I was contemplating, they thought I was contemplating. I told them from day one I wasn't taking that shot. But they were like, okay, you got another week to figure out whether or not you're going to take the shot. I'm like, I'm not taking the shot. Well, you got another week. But what they did, y'all don't remember this because it was a long time ago. They pulled me off the air for that final week. Why? Because they didn't want me to say, hey, this is my last show. I appreciate y'all's support, so on and so forth. They be so scared, I guess you gonna get on the air and tell them, like, people only making $10 an hour here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, a hostage did escape real quick. And, you know, let me tell you what they doing to the people in there. They be so scared that that's what's gonna happen. Like, just give people an opportunity to say bye to their audience. And if you treated people good and valued them, you wouldn't have to be scared of it. You wouldn't have to be scared of it if you wasn't paying people $10 an hour. You wouldn't have to be scared that somebody gonna go on air and say, I'm only making $10 an hour, help! So I don't think it's not a huge deal. Somebody got let go. That by itself is not a big deal. But why wrap it in all of the secrecy? You know what I'm saying? That's the whole, don't wrap it up in all of this secrecy. You would say that somebody is gone and then it'd be like, okay, they gone. Oh man, we gonna miss them. And you move on. So I just think they do stuff wrong. But again, I think it's because they scared somebody gonna say something. Well, most people ain't got no beef with Radio 1. CK, okay, you're back.
Hey, yeah, they heard me clear, loud and clear, didn't they?
Yes.
I said, man, hey, man, but I'm so proud of Ray. Did you see her on your podcast today?
I did.
When she was talking to you?
No.
Hey,
What'd she do?
she was telling us about she had got let go from her job at Radio 1.
What?
And she said her best supervisor of all time was Emanuel
What?
Livingston. And she said that they all. I thought she was blank, so she's really serious about the $10 an hour.
Yes, come on, for real. Y'all didn't believe me when I told you that last week. Y'all for real didn't believe me. I'm in the process of being hurt again. I mean, y'all don't take the stuff I say seriously. I told y'all last week they was only paying $10 an hour. I told y'all.
But I thought minimum wage was more than $10 an hour, Mr. Livingston.
I think it got raised, but no, I don't
to
think
like
it was.
15 or something, right?
I'm not sure what it got raised to, but yeah, no, it wasn't $10 an hour because they were offering $10 an hour, and if minimum wage was more than that, they wouldn't have been paying people that. It was $10 an hour, or less.
No, I think if you're not reputable, you will pay people anything. You don't go by the law, right?
No,
Are they reputable?
they can't. They not gonna be violating the law. Not
Oh, I got you.
intentionally. I'll give them that. They're not gonna intentionally violate the law.
Well, you know, and be the man that I am, a man of God. I'm telling all the women happy Valentine's Day in my vicinity. All of them, the African American ones. and a few of them pink toes, but mostly black women.
All right. Did you get your Valentine's Day gift yet?
Yeah. Old girl gave me a Longhorn gift card, $25.
Which old girl, the pregnant one?
How you know? How you know?
I'm just checking. Was it the pregnant one or the one with the 21-year-old daughter?
Nah, she. Listen, sir. The one with the 21-year-old daughter, she the one with the 5 daughters. My pregnant one, she got about 5 of them. I think it's gonna make 5, and she got 1 boy, so she got 1. She almost was a 5 daughter having mama. But yeah, she loved me. She also bought me breakfast. You know, my birthday was a couple of days ago, so she bought me breakfast. She was gonna take me to Waffle House, but we was in a rush because I had to work, so we went to Mickey D. Yeah, man, got that big breakfast time for Mickey D.
And did you see some dimes up in there?
You funny, man. I was flirting with the little drive-through girl, but nah, she wasn't no dime. She was about 4.5, 5. I'll smash though.
All right. Did you have anything else?
Yeah, what you trying to rest me off? What's going on, brother?
Nah, my show over, bro. I'm about to get up out of here.
My bad, man. I'm just hungry. Just tell, with the women, I already know I love them, especially with black women. I told them all Happy Valentine's Day in the comment section.
And Jerica says Happy Valentine's Day to you.
I'll tell her, man. She know I love her more than all of them.
All
You know
right.
what I mean, she got a special. And she called your program, I believe, yesterday.
Did she call
Yeah, she-
yesterday? I don't think she called yesterday.
Or the day before yesterday?
I think she called the day
recently.
before yesterday.
She called on my birthday. See,
Yes.
see, now you see that.
I think it was on
connection,
your
right?
birthday. Yes.
She called on my birthday, but yeah, she got a lot of love in her. Very
Seabreeze says Happy Valentine's Day to you too. Or more, thank you for the Valentine's Day wishes. They just thanking you for the Valentine's Day wishes, bro.
Hey man, I know you gotta get to your family and everything, but man, like I said, I'm gonna say it before and I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna say it. I said it before. I said it now, and I'm gonna say it in the future. May God continue to bless you and your family.
Well, thank you, sir. Same to you.
All right.
All right. All right. That was CK. All right. Let me see. Somebody said Raven said $15. Actually, what she said was they was paying her 10, and she only got one raise, and that was when the minimum wage got raised to 15. So she was making 15, but for a long time she was making 10. Yeah, for a long time she was making 10. And I mean, it's, just the truth. So there's no nothing there. And I'm not knocking Radio One. Deidre says same thing, 15. I'm not sure what you're saying or what you're talking about. But okay. I mean, if that make you feel good, then okay. She didn't say 10. I'm all about whatever make you feel good, especially tonight. Whatever make you feel good. It's Valentine's Day, Y'all, hold on. All hearts and minds are clear because I'm about to get up out of here. So, anything else y'all want me to kind of talk about or whatever, let me know now. Otherwise, I'm about to go. Again, y'all please be aware of whatever is going on with y'all president. Latest thing I read, he's ordering all of the departments to get rid of they're not temporary workers, probationary workers or whatever the terminology is. And let me be honest, like, I'm not going to say that everything he's doing I disagree with. Like, I'm not even 100% against, hold on, I got a call coming in. Brent.
No, all hearts and minds are not clear.
Oh, all right.
But yeah, but no, just respect to Miss Raven. When she first called in, I thought she said she took the severance, and then she said she. Then I was mistaken and found out that she didn't. But yeah, that $2,000 is what Don King called dinga money, that they would throw at boxers, just to, because a lot of them had never seen any kind of real money. So yeah. I'm glad you have built up your network and have lawyers and other people, confidants that are able to give you wise counsel. So much respect and love going out to you, and I know you're going to do well. And you got to make sure you still have Dr. Gaskins and the Gaskins Foundation on so we can talk blurred talk. You know, I'm a big fan of that, and of course the wrestling talk, which there will be no wrestling reporting on this Friday. We're going to keep the focus on Raven. But that's pretty much all I had. But yeah, just wanted to catch you before I ran into this in this story real quick. And it's not Target, not Target.
All right. All right. Brent, I appreciate your call.
All right, take it easy.
All right. Yeah. Can you talk about the word rotator cuffs? No, I won't talk about the rotator cuffs. But yeah, man, he, trying to get rid of people. And look, I'm not 100% against trimming the workforce where necessary. I'm not 100% against cutting some foreign aid where necessary, cutting spending where necessary. I think it's one of these things where there's a right way to do it, though. You can't just come in, like, you don't have if your department heads, I'm going to call them, the secretaries or whatever, if your secretaries or whatever is coming in and they're doing a real analysis, well, not them, because most of them are not qualified for much of anything. But if the people who do these financial analyses, I think it would be plural, for the department, looks at the department and says, look, we can trim so-and-so percentage of our workforce, and we can cut this much money and, still function the way that we're supposed to function. I wouldn't have a problem with that. But just Donald Trump and Elon Musk, which really they not the ones making the calls. Don't be fooled into believing that, Donald Trump signing executive orders mean Donald Trump made a decision. No, the people running things made a decision. Shelly.
Hey, how's it doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm all right. I have a question, though.
Okay.
And a comment. So my question is, what are you going to accomplish boycotting the Nazis?
Well, I'm not sure what you'd mean boycotting the Nazis. What are you talking about?
Didn't you say there was some kind of protest going to go on
Well,
against the Nazis?
there's a difference between a protest and a boycott.
Oh, right. Okay, so what do you want to accomplish with that, though? That's what I'm confused about.
Well, I would imagine that the thing that people want to accomplish with it is to show some solidarity and love. And I would imagine that they want to send a message specifically to Evendale, because there are a lot of people who believe that a lot of those people were Evendale police or associated with the Evendale Police Department, but just to send the message that y'all display of hate can't break our spirit. And if nothing else, it has made us more of a unit. And we will stand in the same place that you stood to try to terrify us and divide us and say, we're not terrified. As a matter of fact, we're emboldened and we're not divided. We're much more together now, as opposed to what you planned on doing, what you wanted to see happen. We are, you didn't, your protest did the opposite of what it was intended to do.
Well, I do agree that it was a planned situation. I believe it was a setup. But like all over social media, Cincinnati's getting like respect.
Okay.
Like there was the citizens, the residents handled business. Like it's
Right.
already happened. You know what I mean?
Are you against them rallying together to stand against hate?
No, I'm not against it. The
Okay.
thing is, my concern is this, okay? It was a setup, number one. I agree with that 100%, to get people not focusing on other issues, right?
Like what?
Because turf wars are going to always exist. Like, you know what I mean? That's
Turf war?
it just exists. And I think if people want more police, right? Like, I just don't want people to go out there and, like, want the government to do more about it. Like, that's, in my opinion, not what we want. You know what I mean?
What? Wait a minute, I'm confused. What are you saying? You don't want the government to do more about what?
Anything in general, right? Because people are saying they want the police to do more, and
Right.
my question is why? Like, that is not what we want, right?
Wrong.
Why is that wrong?
We do want the police, when people come into a neighborhood with the specific intent to terrorize that neighborhood, we don't want the police to allow people to terrorize that neighborhood. We want them to take all of the steps that they can to protect the families, the children, the citizens, and not let other groups come in and terrorize them. That's what we want.
Okay, but reverse it and apply that to, like, the BLM riots, right?
Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. First, those are totally different. So are you suggesting, first I reject the riots term, but are you suggesting that people who believe that Black lives should matter literally went into neighborhoods specifically to terrorize them? Is that what you're suggesting?
Well, I mean, I can't say what everyone's intentions are.
But we
100%.
can, but hold on, no, but we can clearly say what the intention of those Nazis was, right? They weren't there to protest some perceived injustice. They were just there to terrorize people. That's it. Right?
Right. I
Right.
don't know.
So how are
I
you
don't know.
comparing those two?
Right. So look at them. Look at the the weak little Nazi boys, right? And then don't look at the government. That's what my concern is.
No, because those weak little Nazi boys broke laws while they were there terrorizing a neighborhood, and the police should have done something about those people breaking laws.
What laws did they break?
Well, you know it's against the law to be riding in the back of a U-Haul truck, right?
Well, no, I didn't know that was.
Yeah,
right.
yeah, that's not legal. But they did it. They could have done something about that. They could have, at the very least, I don't know what the punishment is, but give them tickets. And then that way there would be some record of who they were. But they didn't do that.
Right. Nobody look at the license plates. Like, where were the license plates from?
No one has any information on them, so apparently the police didn't run license plates. No,
the
apparently
city
they
flattened
didn't.
Tires. People like found their cars and flattened their tires.
And the police still didn't run their license plates.
Well, Rob, right? Exactly, right? So.
Right, and so
if
don't we want the
scream
police to do
loud
that?
If we scream at the police to do like.
To
stupid
run
stuff,
license plates like they do every day in every neighborhood around America, is it unreasonable to want the police to do for the people terrorizing Black people, treat them like you would treat anybody else? Is that unreasonable?
No, but
All
you're
right.
you're being defensive. I'm not like, I'm saying we don't want it to backfire, right? Does that make sense?
But
Because if we
backfire in what way? What way do you think it would backfire?
if we are going to want the police to do more about petty stuff, because honestly, I don't think it should be a ticketable offense to drive in the back of a U-Haul.
But it is.
But that's stupid, right?
All right, but it is. Whether it's stupid or not, it is.
Okay, so do we want them to do that to us?
They do.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, like, you got Lincoln Heights won, right? They have respect all over the country, all over the social media for handling business.
Are you certain that they won? Because I saw a video of Evendale police when it looked like just rolling through Lincoln Heights in an attempt to intimidate the people of the village of Lincoln Heights. So did they
Mike,
win?
Look, I'm not a bootlicker, number one. Cincinnati impounded my car for expired tags. They can kiss my ass. That's my point. Like, instead of wanting more police to do more stuff, it should be, hey, if you're leaving them alone, leave us alone too.
But they're
You know what I
not. But they're not leaving us alone. And so they should have done something to them. I don't think it's unreasonable to say to the police, our neighborhoods should not should be terrorized. And
Here's my, listen, I disagree on that because instead of saying, hey, if you're going to fuck with me, fuck with them too, it should be the opposite. Hey, if you're going to leave them alone, how about you leave me alone too?
well, but we've been screaming about leave us alone forever. That's not going to happen.
Okay, well, that's all I'm saying. Can you see where I'm coming from though, at all?
I do. I understand what you're saying.
Because we're not, first of all, Cincinnati we're not weak. People that have been here for generations aren't weak, right? I mean, we don't want the police all up in our business. They need to just let people handle their business. That's all I'm saying. And not let this situation be a distraction over who the real criminals are, which is the county commissioners, and the school board. And, like, did you know that the administrator for the county is appointed? Like, we don't vote for him, Mr. Aludo. Like, that's the real enemy around here.
Well, I think there can be more than one real enemy.
There is a lot. Like, the Nazis ain't coming back.
How do you know? How do you know? They could come back tomorrow for all we know. Or they could have never left and they could be rolling around Lincoln Heights in Evendale police cars.
And if they show their face, they're going to lose.
No, because they could be showing their face every day in Evendale police cars.
Okay, well, I say protest the government. You know what I mean? Because you remember Damon Lynch, right?
I've heard of him.
Right. So there's a long history in Cincinnati with the KKK and all that kind of stuff, and the town square and blah, 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 blah. That's our history. And that's what we need to go back to and remember. What we need to do is hold these commissioners and the council members and the agency people, like, accountable, right? Because if we're divided, that's what they want. That's what they want.
Who's divided? But who's divided?
Okay, well, if we go back to, every white person's a Nazi, like, that's division.
But who said that?
Okay, how are you going to know who's a Nazi or not?
Wait, no, you're not answering the question. Who has suggested that every white person is a Nazi?
I'm saying that's a fine line that we don't want to cross.
You're not answering. Who has suggested?
I don't know who Nazis are. I've never met a Nazi in my life.
Who has suggested that every white person is a Nazi?
I didn't say. I'm saying that we don't want to go there.
But we're not. That's what I'm saying. You're saying we don't want to do stuff that we're not doing.
Okay. I'm just saying right now is a crazy time, and we got to we need numbers. To win any war, you got to have the numbers. Like, personally, I would rather the Cincinnati's, black and white, I don't care if you're a Nazi or BLM, unite against these immigrants that are invading our city and our county and our neighborhood.
See,
like,
now you're sounding a little Nazi-ish.
Okay, well, you got to have a common enemy. And if we're going to be fighting against each other because, like, our disagreement on the cops, okay, well, you're just going to disagree. I'm just saying, like, this is a very important time in history right now. We have an opportunity to unite against our government,
And hold on, but Shelley, you know who's a part of that government?
The Nazis.
Who else?
The police.
There you go.
Exactly, right? But look at Steve Riley's son. Like, I would think people should be louder about that. First of all, he was drunk, and he was
No,
violent.
no. You know who should be louder about that? You. You guys should be louder about that. He wasn't down there beating up no black people. He was down there beating up some old white ladies and old white men. So white people should be doing a protest about Steve Raleigh and let black people do their protest about the Nazis. Don't try to dissuade us from standing up for ourselves because y'all not standing up for y'allself.
Okay, first of all, that's a class issue, not a race issue, okay, with the Steve Riley situation.
You
Like,
brought it up. I didn't bring it up. You did.
why did he get a slap on the wrist? You know why? Because, first of all, Charmaine McGuffey donated to his stupid little sober program or whatever he's got.
So what you gonna do about it?
I mean, what am I going to do about
What
it?
are you gonna do about it? Somebody got away with something. What are you gonna do about it?
Oh, I've already looked into it.
And so what are you gonna do?
Okay, well, I do make complaints, thank you very much. John Tugler was the Claremont County / Hamilton County prosecutor on that case. He was also the prosecutor that gave Melissa Powers a slap on the wrist, and he was the prosecutor in that
And
case.
so what are you gonna do about it? When is your protest?
What do you mean, where's my protest?
Where's your protest? You called in to basically say that those black people shouldn't be up there protesting the Nazis.
What?
So-
that's not what I said.
Well,
I said,
that's clearly what you were saying. It's clearly what you were saying.
my point is, okay, like, here's another example, right? How people talk about piss tests. Well, everybody should be piss test. How about nobody gets piss test? Like, our argument needs to be, like, changed up a little bit.
I'm not even sure what we're talking about now. Why are we talking about piss tests?
You want the cops to give them a ticket for riding in the back of the U-Haul? No, we don't want anyone to get a ticket for riding.
No, what we want is for the police, when people come to terrorize our neighborhoods, to not work in concert with them, to hide their identities and let them get away with crimes while they are terrorizing our neighborhoods. That's not an unreasonable ask, and you can't be upset with people for not liking that. Now, if you don't like the driving
right?
protest, do your own protest.
Okay, first of all, you guys report people, have paper trails, you can do all that kind of stuff. There you go. So we agree. Why we should not be hiding the information of the illegal immigrants, right?
No.
So we should just let the illegal immigrants come here and, like, just live it up?
What did an illegal immigrant do to you?
Are you kidding?
No, stop. Don't try to answer nothing else. It's a simple question on the table. What did an illegal immigrant specifically do to you?
Okay, well, first of all, I have to rely on the food bank, and they, like, line the whole church.
No. What did an illegal immigrant specifically do to you?
What do you mean, to me?
To you. You know who you are, right?
What did the Nazis do to you?
They terrorized my neighborhood. What did an illegal immigrant specifically do to you?
Okay, so now it's about individual. It's not about our
What did an illegal immigrant do to you?
terrorize my neighborhood
How?
just by being there, like the Nazis.
Please. That don't even make sense. Thank you for your call. That don't even make sense. Illegal immigrants ain't standing in your neighborhood with weapons and threatening to shoot people as they walk by and calling you, I don't know, honky or cracker or whatever, whitey. Y'all always think we call y'all whitey. We don't call y'all whitey, but y'all think we do. Whitey, they ain't waving hate flags in your neighborhood. They just going about their business, trying to make it. But you called in to try to dissuade black people from standing up for black people. That ain't gonna fly. That ain't gonna fly. Come on, we know what that's about. I heard a little Nazi. You might not know a Nazi. Nazi, whatever, however you pronounce it. You might not have ever met a Nazi, but I heard a little Nazi in you. He snuck out for just a minute. You was talking about how the police should be fair and treat everybody fair, and the government should do this and the government should do that, and then out of nowhere, and get rid of all those illegals. What? Where did that little Nazi come from? Like, what's that? Was it Prego? You wonder? It's in there. It's in there. You don't necessarily know when it's gonna pop up. You don't think so, but it's in there. I heard it. All right, y'all. I got to get out of here. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Try to dissuade people. What's the point in protesting or boycotting? Why are you going to get out of boycotting the Nazis? And people are acting like, okay, it happened. It was just some isolated event. Now they're gone. Now it's over. Nothing to see here. Go back to normal. That's not how it worked. Jerica.
I didn't think you were going to answer. So I didn't want to end on such a bad note with Shelly.
Okay.
So I needed to call in. So in regards to Raven, I am very proud of her, and I'm definitely in support of her. But I've posted it a couple times. You know, a lot of us are banned from Nathan Ivy's platform, so we really don't know what she's doing over there. But if she's ever on another platform outside of her own, if she could kind of put it on her page so that we can see, just for that reason, so that we can support her. And also, I'm not going to hold you hostage. On behalf of all of the Black women, maybe not Raven because she doesn't really know, but all of the other Black Facebookers, we reject CK's Happy Valentine's Day, and we will relinquish it over to the Pink Toes and the Snow Bunnies, such as Shelly, this year. So we will revisit it next year. But
Why? What did CK do? What did I miss?
let me tell you, you missed it.
Okay.
So Tanika had posted, or no, let's go back to Lincoln's show. So CK came into the chat on Lincoln's show and said, you know, Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. But I mean, I don't know if he went to people individually and they just didn't respond, but he got upset. And Tanika made a comment and he just like went off on her because she didn't acknowledge his Happy Valentine's Day.
Oh.
Maybe she was busy. Maybe she was working. Hell, I don't know, but it's some weird behavior. But, you know, he's spazzed out before. No, you know, not to be disrespectful. So, you know, we knew it was in him. So then on your show, Tanika had posted, like, Raven, do you mind dropping your Cash App so we can support you or something to that effect? And he just went off, like, on her. I mean, like, called her a hater and some other things. So I chimed in and said, only sassy men argue with women. And then he said, only lesbians protect women who they want to eat out. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, where is he going with all of this? But of course, I entertained it and then had to pull myself back and remembered who I am. So, you know, I let it go and just simply said, you know, I don't go back and forth with men who sit down when they pee, and I blocked them. So that's why I'm saying we reject his Happy Valentine's Day. He can keep that and give it to the white women this year.
Okay, yeah, I missed all of that.
Yeah.
Like every bit of it.
And Nate Tunna, how you say his name, had to step in and like step in and say, you know, chill out. But yeah, he really went in. And then for him to call and say to all the women in the chat, yada, 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 we were all just like, nigga, do you remember what you just did? Like, I understand he may have, you know, some issues. His elevator doesn't go all the way up to the top floor, missing a few crayons in his box. So we give him space to be a little awkward and weird. But, yeah, today took the cake. So, yeah, we're not going to let this one pass.
Oh.
So, yeah, he can keep that.
Okay. Well, yeah, I missed all of that.
Damn, I guess I didn't end it on a positive note, huh?
And people are asking me, what is Prego? What is it? I think I was mixing ragu with Prego. So I guess I said Prego. But Prego wasn't their thing. It's in there. That was their. You're probably too young to remember that as their thing.
No, it's, oh, no, I'm not. Yes, that's what they say.
Yeah.
That was a little thing, but yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, that's why I just wanted to call in. I didn't want to let that go by and make CK think that we accepted his Happy Valentine's Day, even though it's super petty. But you know, that's me. All right. But Raven, we are very proud of you and we support you wholeheartedly.
All right.
All right, take care.
Thank you. All right. So there you go. And again, to all of the ladies and all the fellas. See, for real. I'm trying to normalize men speaking good things to me. Oh, hold on, before I finish that. Janice asked a question. Am I blocked from Nathan Ivey, aka Dion Griffin's podcast? Yes. I told y'all that story a long time ago when Jerry got fired and they blamed me for Jerry getting fired. And so since then, you know, they don't speak to me. And yes, I'm very much blocked from all things Nathan Ivey. And I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. I don't seek it out or anything like that. But, you know, I think I'm different. Like maybe I should be like, don't mention his, but I don't care. It's room for everybody. It's room for haters. Cause you know what I'm saying, you an Emanuel Livingston hater don't necessarily mean you a black people hater. And so, you know, hopefully he's doing things to, you know, in some way, shape, or form elevate or uplift black people. And I'm okay with it. You know what I'm saying? He can be the lady and I'll be the man. And I'm cool with it. So, and you know, even more than anything else, you know, just to support Raven and give her an opportunity for those of y'all who are not blocked from his platforms, that if y'all want to support him and or her, y'all can do that. So yes, Janice, I am blocked from his social media and I'm okay with that. But back to what I was saying, I'm trying to normalize men being able to show love to men in manly ways. Might not necessarily be conventional, but they still manly. Like nothing wrong with telling a brother like, you know, hey, I love you, bro. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with saying to a brother, you know, hey, happy Valentine's Day, bro. It don't mean you love him. It don't mean you want to make love to him. But it's Valentine's Day. And just like you want women to have a happy Valentine's Day, you can want men to have a happy Valentine's Day too. I want you to enjoy this day, enjoy this evening, enjoy your woman, enjoy your wife, enjoy your fiance, whatever. So, yeah, I'm trying to normalize that. Will says, y'all need to make that right. You eat your forces of your own. No, ain't no y'all need to make nothing right. I didn't do nothing. There's nothing for me to make right. When people say that, I always be like, what? What? You mean y'all, Will? What you mean y'all? I didn't do anything. I'm minding my own business. I was still for years saying, hey, what's up? Because I didn't even remember that we was beefing or that he was beefing with me. And I would see him out and I would be like, hey, what's up? And he would be, and I would be like, oh, I forgot we beefing. So it ain't me that need to make nothing right. It ain't me that need to make nothing right. I'm just here. And me and Will, I never had beef with you. I don't think. Not one time. I might have disagreed with you on a thing or two, but that would just mean you are another human because I'll be disagreeing with people. But here's one thing about me. If you do me wrong, I can move on. But if you ever want to apologize and say, you know what, bro, I was wrong. I shouldn't have been that way. I could have just came to you and asked you what happened and then I would have known or whatever. Then I'm good to let it go. Like, you like, what? Like, nah, man, I'm holding this. It feel like we got this grudge. Like, nah, I'm just, you distant. But if you ever want to, you know what I'm saying, come back and, you know, be normal, all you got to do is just admit it. Like, man, I was wrong. Or, no, you ain't even really got to say I was wrong. Like, I should have talked to you first before acting childish. I apologize. And the way my spirit is for the most part is I'm going to be like, it's all good. Now, if you had me locked up, you can't apologize for that. I went to jail. Ain't nothing you can say. I don't trust you with my freedom. But other than that, so yeah, ain't no y'all need to make it right, Will. Ain't no y'all. But okay, that's it. That's it. Yo Underwood said, I'm enjoying my Valentine's Day. I'm on my way to get groomed. You getting that what do they call it? The wax thing? Where they rip all your hair off? Because the ladies was in here earlier saying they like that. It's not a, what is the wax? It's not a, I want to say it's a Bahamian wax. It is not a Bahamian wax. What is it called? Ladies, what is it called? They put the wax on and they rip up. Brazilian, thank you. It's not Bahamian. I don't know why I couldn't get Brazilian in my head. Yo Underwood going to get a Brazilian. The lady said they like it. You got to do what you got to do to please your lady. You got to do what you got to do to please your lady. Do not go get a Bahamian wax. That don't sound right. Don't do it. Don't do it. Woo, go to the esthetician. Ask him for that Bahamian. That is so stupid. Oh. Oh, that is so stupid. I don't know why that was in my head. The Bahamas. I was thinking about the Bahamas. I don't know why that was in my head. All right, y'all. I appreciate. Yeah, I'm back. Look, L Rock. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. Yo Underwood brought it up. He going to get waxed, and that's what brought it up. I got to get out of here. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Yeah, I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Enjoy your Valentine's Day. Enjoy your weekend as you are going about doing everything that you're going to do this weekend, this Valentine's Day, and everything else. Don't forget to be the reason that somebody smiles. Till next time, I'm out, y'all.